And it's time for McKinney ISD on 97.5 KLAK. This is the McKinney ISD Football Pregame Show on your home for McKinney ISD Football, 97.5 KLAK.
On 97.5 KLAK, we've got Texas high school football as it's the McKinney Boyd Broncos kicking off the 2022 season at MISD Stadium, and the Longview Lobos are in town paying them a visit in Week 1. The anticipation cannot run any longer. The Boyd Broncos kicking off their season tonight. I've got Kevin McPherson to my left, the coach Will Hodges to my right. Coach, what a matchup for Daniel Foster, the new head coach, taking on those Longview Lobos tonight in Week 1.
Yeah, I don't believe that the matchup is one that he would have picked if he get to pick his schedule. But the schedule was set before Coach Foster got the head coaching job. He was the OC, got moved up when Joe McBride retired. But it's a great opportunity. You always want to test yourself, in non-district. You don't want to test yourself 3 straight weeks in non-district, but you want to test yourself and see where your program is. Regardless of the classification, Longview being 5A, a big 5A, by the way. And just 5 years ago, or 4 years ago, they won a state championship in 6A, and that's the kind of athletes that they're going to field tonight. So it's going to be a big test for the Broncos. But what I've enjoyed watching the Broncos over the years, what I've seen, is they're not afraid of any challenge, and they're going to get after them. They're going to play hard and, kind of let the chips fall where they may.
Well, and we had a chance to catch up with Daniel Foster earlier this week. We'll hear that interview later in the pregame show. But Coach Foster getting right to it and saying that this is not a division game. This is going to be a matchup where you come out still 0-0 in the district. But this is a really tough test as they've got the Lobos of Longview, as you mentioned, come in with a lot of praise behind them and a guy leading the way that certainly knows what he's doing.
Well, yeah, Coach King's a kind of a legend in Texas high school coaching ranks. He's done a really good job. Won a state championship with his son as the quarterback. That's a special thing, right? And tell this quick story. A friend of mine talked to him at coaching school, and Coach King is notoriously poor-mouths his team. Oh, we're not very good. We're not great. We're not this, that. And he asked it, John, how are y'all going to be this year? He said, we're going to be pretty stinking good. Which means, like, from him coming, that's oh wow. So you should expect to see some fireworks from the Longview offense specifically tonight.
Well, and now looking at Boyd, you've got a lot of pieces coming into this year where right at the top you've got the head coach and Daniel Foster, who we've touched on, Joe McBride, departing the program after he was here in 2019. And Coach Foster had been under McBride in a lot of different stops. He followed him here and picked him to lead this Broncos program. And it starts tonight, and it's, you've got a lot of pieces on offense, a lot of pieces on defense that have to be filled. But talking to Coach Foster, he said that the big turnaround last year in the winning season, their first best year since 2014, they said that the mindset, it goes from I think we can, we ought to we can, we sure can, and we did.
Right. And Boyd has notoriously played really aggressive and strong defense, and Coach McBride got that back in the last 2 seasons and really rode that defense. I think one of the real big pluses for the Broncos coming in this game is Ryan Shackleton at quarterback tonight. Started about half the games his sophomore year and then all 11 games last year as a junior. He's got a lot of experience, and so he's seen it all. I think you'll see a smart player. You'll see an accurate player. You'll see a player who's seen all the looks before. So when your signal guy, your signal caller has experience, you feel much better as a coach and as a coaching staff.
We talked to Foster, too, and he said that in this division, as it starts tonight for Boyd, there's a lot of tough teams that they got to hang with, but it's about time, and it looked like it started last year, that when they're naming off the tough teams that they got to go up against, it's about time that we start saying, especially in the locker room, hey, they got to play Boyd. They got to play us, too.
Exactly. You've got to have that mindset when you're in a tough league that, hey, it's just the next team on our schedule. We're not looking at their stats. We're not looking on where Dave Campbell picked them, in Texas football. We're going to line up. We got 48 minutes to play, a lifetime to remember. Here we go.
All right, we're just getting started with our pregame coverage tonight. A 7 o'clock kick between McKinney Boyd and the Lobos of Longview coming up here at 7 o'clock. We'll step aside and we catch up with the first-year head coach and set for his first game tonight, Daniel Foster. That's next on 97.5 KLAK.
Are you sick of going to the dental office? Do you feel like you're spending thousands and thousands of dollars year after year on crowns, root canals, extractions, fillings? Well, you know what? We really like to get all those bad teeth out and put good teeth in. Dental implants. In fact, you can even do it the same day under sedation. Take the bad teeth out that keep costing you more money and take care of yourself with a permanent dental solution. We take the bad teeth out, put the implants in, and either a denture on top or fixed teeth that don't have pain and can't get decay. If you're interested in this, just give us a call. This is Dr. Brady. My colleagues and I do this all the time, and we love mouths that are not in real good shape, and we bring them to ideal shape. Hey, give us a call soon, and we'd love to see you.
Call Lake Texoma Dental Care and Wellness Direct at 903-465-4055. That's 903-465-4055. Or you could visit them online at texomadentist.com. That's texomadentist.com. Visit them or give them a call today at 903-465-4055 or texomadentist.com.
Shop Labor Day savings now at NFM. Thousands of styles are in stock and up to 60% off suggested retail. Find exactly what you're looking for, all backed by our low price guarantee. Add room for everyone with sectionals starting at $529 or a multi-use click-clack starting at $169. Plus, home office furniture starting at just $79. And holiday deals on appliances and electronics. Shop online or in-store with easy drive-through pickup and professional delivery available. Enjoy budget-friendly 30-month financing on furniture and flooring and 24-month financing on appliances and electronics when you use the NFM card. Make sure you stop by the store Saturday for our Forever Home Pet event with furry friends from Abandoned Pet Project. Plus, free crafts for Kids Crafter Day. More to love and more ways to save. All at NFM in Grandscape. Some exclusions apply. Minimum monthly payments required for financing. 18% APR. See store for details.
We're back on 97.5 KLAK before a 7 o'clock kickoff between the McKinney Boyd Broncos and the Lobos of Longview High School. Now we've got the opportunity in his first year as head coach with Boyd. Daniel Foster joins us. Coach, thanks for the time. How are you?
Oh, doing great. Thank you so much for having me on.
Oh, yeah. You've got the it's week one. You're finally here. A lot of anticipation building up to the season. What do you think is going to be going through your mind as you put the headset on here tonight?
I think it's everything before that's going through your mind. Man, this is a dream come true. Oh, are you nervous? Oh, what are you this? Oh, man, it's the legendary John King cross there. Oh, it's Longview. Oh, it's my kids it's all that. But when you put the headset on, it's just like anything else. It's still 50 and a third by 120. And it's the game I grew up and loved that the good Lord put on my heart to allow me to keep doing and coaching. So I'm just excited.
Talking about that mindset, that, just basically show up and show it. You were a player in your earlier days. What did the game of football teach you early on, and when did those kind of get instilled in you?
Well, early on, it kind of reassured what my dad told me. Everything in life that you get is a blessing. God's put you on this earth to glorify Him, and what He said is that football is a tool to allow you to become a man and teaches you things that you need to do. And I think that's what I've been trying to do with my kids is use football as a tool, as a mission field to teach them how to deal with life and how, you might have a turnover, something bad might happen. What are you going to do? Fold? Nope. You got to bow your neck. Oh, somebody got you this game. All right. You had a season or you didn't win more than you lost more than you won. Oh, then all of a sudden you had a successful season. And so then you got to be able to deal with that, deal with success and failures. Coach McBride would always tell me all the time, don't let your highs be too high. Don't let your lows be too low.
You mentioned Coach McBride. He was at the top of this program before retiring. What was his, I know that this can really seem like a broad question, but someone that had so much impact on you early on as a young coach for you in your playing days, and then you guys coached together. What type of relationship and the characteristics did you pick up from Coach McBride?
A couple of things I picked up from Coach is just how to handle a program. He was always coaching me, still is to this day. Texted me earlier today. So, you look at it as what has he taught you, and just like a father figure in the profession, he's always kind of held me to a higher standard. If I do something wrong, told me I did it wrong, and told me how to do it right. but he also gave me room to grow and to fix things. And he would always tell me that this district, if you can do it in this district, you can do it anywhere, because this is one of the toughest, it's not the toughest district and not just the state and the nation. And so he would always reassure that keep working hard, because in this district, points are hard to come by. And, when you can do that here, you're going to be ready for anything. And so it's just been the consistency that he showed us and how to do things the right way.
Sounds like the tree of Texas football coaching at the high school level is just huge. How can you speak to that with how many paths you cross along the way?
Well, I played under the legendary, and I can say that now since he's retired, the legendary Coach Brian Brazel, and he was inducted to the Hall of Honor this past summer in THSCA, and he picked me to talk about him, and it still gets me to this day. But he at everybody he coached, him and Miss Birdie, and when I say Miss Birdie, I always say a coach's wife is just as important as the coach. And so when I say they picked me to speak on his behalf, meant something to me. I think it reassured that this position we're in as head coach, you got to win. Don't get me wrong, you got to win. I said, but don't win games and lose kids. Don't ever do that. You win. You can win games and win kids at the same time. And Coach Brazel showed me how to do that. And so it's been great to see that each coach you talk to in our district, Kendall Brewer has Mike Fetchy, who's in our athletic department, Marcus Shavers, and Allen, and coaches who just kind of grown us and help us become better people. And it's kind of that old movie, Pay It Forward. That's been, it's just Texas high school football coaching. They just pass it down. It's not the color of your skin, the commas in your wallet, anything like that. It's just the pure love of the game of football.
We're chatting with the head coach of McKinney Boyd, Daniel Foster, on 97.5 KLAK. Coach, just talking about this year now, or maybe a little bit more short-term mindset. Last year, you're a part of a team that goes 8-3. A big turnaround for the program where you rattle off the most wins since 2014. What was the turnaround and the difference maker in that year to turn around the program?
Taking I think we can to yes, we can to we did. I think it's a mindset. Kids these days deal with a lot of things outside of football, and the mental game is the biggest. And that's why I try to pull on and play with and help those kids. And once they realize they could, we're in the toughest district. We're in there with Allen, we're in there with Guy, or we're in there with Prosper. Crap, they're in there with us too. As I tell those kids, you got to have a little bit of respect for yourself and say, hey, we're in the toughest district because we're tough. Okay, we're tough too. When you say that, you must say Boyd in that category. You must say McKinney High. You must say the other teams, because all those teams in our district are good football teams. And there's good football teams who won't make the playoffs in this district who would win other districts. And so getting them to believe in themselves was the biggest part about it. And once they believe, man, it was a roller coaster. You watch those kids and you watch them play in the locker room. It was fun. It was fun to be a part of.
You go from the offensive coordinator to the head coach, but last year's team, it looked like defense was really go out there and you got to be tough on defense. How do you plan to roll over and still keep defense a priority this year? And maybe what did the staff shakeups look like with you taking head coach?
Well, this district, the best defenses make it to the playoffs. Let's just be honest. The top defenses go. So we're still going to hang our hat on the defense. But you know what? Our offensive guys are not going to sit here and just be, we're just that, we're just this. We got Ryan Shackle to come back, 3-year starter, Joey Dixon, 3-year starter. Hey, we're going to do what we do. And with a little bit of flavor, because Coach Jeremy Turner, who's a run game coordinator, now offense coordinator, he's going to put his stamp on things. And Jeremy's been a head football coach, been an AD, and he knows how to run offense. And so with him, the help of Robbie Clark, he was a head football coach at Crum, and he's quarterback coach, been at Westlake, been at Palestine. He's been different places. And so we got guys on the offense side of the ball with just some experience who've been there and done that. And so my job is just to allow them to coach, give them the best opportunity to coach, get hurdles out of the way, let them do what they love to do as coach. And then defensively, man, one of my best friends is a defense coordinator. And anytime you go in a war, you want to go with people you trust. And Travis Moore is a son of a ball coach. He is a ball coach. He is the Texas high school tree. That's his dad. Coach Moore was a ball coach at Georgetown. His last stop was in Elgin. So both his sons are coordinators in this district. His oldest son's OC at Prosper. His youngest son's at DC at Boyd. So they come from a fruitful tree. And so then I picked up Mike DeWitt, who's been head football coach, and he's coaching outside backers. Jay Jones was OC for Mike at Coppell. And so there's a lot of wisdom in the room. But I tell you what you don't see in the room. You don't see egos. There's no egos in those rooms. Everybody has a voice. They know when to talk. They know when to be quiet. The young cats work. Some of the hardest working people we got. We got Matt Fitzhugh, DC at Rock Hill last year, coaching our corners. One of the hardest working men. You'll see Coach Fitzhugh in the lines room more than you see him on the field because he does a little stuff. And that's what we're about here. We're not about titles here. We're not about who's what. We're about helping kids become better men, and that's why it makes it so much fun.
Coach, last question. We'll let you go. Just putting on the headset as a head coach, you're rolling out the 2022 season on Friday night here. What are you most excited about to find out about your guys and what you can see against a really tough team that you've got week 1 in Longview?
Coach King has a great team. Great. He's a legend. He is Texas high school football. John King, the president of THSCA, he is Texas high school football. What he means to East Texas is awesome. And it's an honor just to be on the field. My first game ever, I can tell people, hey, man, my first game ever, I went against the John King, the Lobos. And so it's a dream come true. What better way to know how good you are to go against a tradition-rich powerhouse in Longview and see, listen, okay, we're saying we're tough. We're saying we're tough. All right, McKinney, Boyd, Broncos, let's go. And this is going to be fun. But you know what? At the end of the day, I tell his kids, it's not a district game. You're still 0-0, and playoffs are still wide open. So this will test us, but it won't make us. And so what this will allow us to do is our kids to see where they're at and know where we got to grow and how to get to where we need to get to. And that's in those top 4 spots to get in the playoffs.
Just caught up with the head coach of McKinney Boyd, Daniel Foster. Coach, enjoy your first game as a head coach, and best of luck to you. Thanks for your time.
Thank you.
At the Thomas Auto Group, we're giving you triple the options. We've made sure finding your perfect ride is easier than ever. We have over 800 vehicles to choose from, including hundreds and hundreds of pre-owned cars, trucks, and SUVs. Just browse our website to view the outstanding selection of new and pre-owned Ford, Subaru, and Volkswagen vehicles. Plus, all vehicles sold come with the Thomas Promise, the low price promise, and 100% customer satisfaction guaranteed. Visit us at thomasautogroup.com or in McKinney today.
Life is an adventure, and it's time to raise anchor and embark on your voyage at Grayson College. Our success coaches are here to help you plot your course and navigate your path. As a Viking, you will receive all the tools necessary to conquer your goals. With ongoing enrollment, it's never too late. Set sail here at home with Grayson College. Visit grayson.edu to get started today.
At the Thomas Auto Group, we're giving you triple the options. We've made sure finding your perfect ride is easier than ever. We have over 800 vehicles to choose from, including hundreds and hundreds of pre-owned cars, trucks, and SUVs. Just browse our website to view the outstanding selection of new and pre-owned Ford, Subaru, and Volkswagen vehicles. Plus, all vehicles sold come with the Thomas Promise, the low price promise, and 100% customer satisfaction guaranteed. Visit us at thomasautogroup.com or in McKinney today.
High school football. In McKinney, it's what we're all dedicated to, isn't it? It's a way of life here in Texas. Barrow's Pizza in McKinney wants to give a big shout out in support of our high school football games at the big stadium in McKinney. And we wish all the athletes and everyone it takes to make the games happen the very best of luck. Why not score the best pizza after the game tonight? Barrow's Pizza. Order online at barrowspizza.com. Back to McKinney ISD football, live on 97.5 KLAK.
Back on 97.5 KLAK before a 7 o'clock kick as we've got McKinney ISD football on the broadcast, and it's the Boyd Broncos kicking off their season against the Lobos of Longview tonight. Chris Tarrant, I've got Will Hodges to my right, Kevin McPherson to my left. Big thanks to Jeremy Frazier back in the studio, getting you Broncos football on the air on this Friday night. Coach, we had a chance to catch up with Coach Foster there, and he seems like he's locked and ready to go tonight.
Yeah, Coach Foster, he's a positive guy, right? That's his demeanor all the time. Well, it's kind of ratcheted up a notch or two, being the head coach. First contest, this is your team, right? So it's a big deal. And butterflies aplenty, I'm sure.
Let's take a look at the starting lineups for tonight. First for the Broncos of Boyd. And starting first with the senior quarterback returning this year, Ryan Shackleton, leading the way. Behind him, the transfer from McKinney, Sheldon King, the senior at 5'10", 190. And the tight end, Tyler Wall, just a sophomore at 6 foot 210, getting the starting nod at the line. XYZ receivers of Jonathan Patterson, Peter Brohas, and Caleb Hensley, all seniors for the Broncos. Up front, the guys doing the blocking, the 3 seniors and 2 juniors for the Broncos. Left tackle Kyle Zimmerman, left guard Bryce Wooten, the center Joey Dixon, who leads the way at 6'4", senior, one of the captains of this team. The right guard Colton Madigan, the senior, and the right tackle Braylon Dickerson. On the defensive side of the ball for the Broncos, the cornerback Christian Turner, Brett Burton, Cole Smith, and Jonathan Patterson, the guys out back. And the backers for the Broncos of the senior Andrew Dawson, Creed Butler, Hudson Piner, and Braden Engwer. And then up front, the 3-man line for the Broncos of Hayden Jenkins, Avery Mullen, and Hader Al-Nasri. Now looking at the Lobos of Longview coming in as tabbed number 1 in the state. They like the Lobos this season in December. Starting on offense, XYZ for the Lobos of DeKalen Reese, Angel Ramos, and Jalen Hale. Quarterback Jordan Allen, the senior, 6 foot, 190 pounds, and behind him the junior Taylor Tatum. Fullback Elijah Johnson, and then kicker and punter Michael Fields. And then the guys up front doing the blocking, 3 seniors, 2 juniors. Left tackle Jack Snorman, Mongo Williams, a senior at left guard. Under Tavion Morgan, right guard Jacoby Watts, and the right tackle Martin Guerrero. Defensively for the Lobos, quickly the cornerbacks and guys out back of Jacavon Curry, Willie Nelson, Dadrian Garrett, and Jaden Simmons, the names we'll be saying for the Lobos secondary. Jeremiah Rugley, the Samback, Caden Brooks, the Mike backer, Tadarion Boone at will, and the jack of Chase Smith, the junior. Defensively up front, another 3-man front for the Lobos. It's Billy Smith, Omarion Watkins, and Jordan Wright. Coach, time now to take a look at your Thomas Auto Group keys to the game, Will. And for Boyd tonight, starting out the season, they've got a tough assignment.
Yes, they do. Good folks that they're playing tonight. My first key is Boyd defense has to come up huge. Not big, but huge. They've got extremely talented skill positions all over the field for the Lobos. So it's really a all-hands-on-deck type situation. You can't coast into a tackle. Somebody's got somebody wrapped up. You got to go make the play. Wide receiver Jalen Hale for Longview, Coach King calls a generational talent, and he is not a guy that throws superlatives around. So that was kind of a cold water in the face when I read that that's what he called him. I mean, that tells you what kind of athlete Coach King believes he is. But they've also got guys that are going to go to the next level at other skill positions, the running back, etc. Second key for me, and I mentioned it a little bit earlier in the pregame show, is Ron Shackleton coming back for his senior year this year, and a guy who started, 15, 16, 17 games for the Broncos. You have the benefit of that experience. You're a senior, you're going to lead, you're going to get the ball where it's supposed to be, and if it's not supposed to be there, you're not going to take chances and throw it deep over the middle, on the run, which, it usually leads to an interception. You're going to make good decisions. That's the second key. Third key for me is special teams, and it's not so much the execution or big plays on special teams. Special teams, you want to limit what happens to you. You can't allow punt blocks. You can't allow returns for big yards or even touchdowns. You've got to take care of business in special teams, and it's so difficult because you never practice it live during fall camp because it's just too much chance of injury, right? So you're going through it 3 quarters. You may run down on punt cover, kick cover full speed, but you're not making a tackle. You're not doing all those things. So you see mistakes in the kicking game cost people games. So you've got to play clean in the special teams, and that's my third key.
All right, those were the Thomas Auto Group keys to the game as we're getting closer to a 7 o'clock kick tonight. Coin toss currently going on at center field, right on the McKinney ISD logo. About 5 minutes out to the top of the hour, and we've got our coin toss down at midfield.
What do you say? It is a tail. You have won this one. You won the first. Longview won the toss. Deferred to the second half.
There you go. Looks like the Lobos win the toss, and they're in the road whites tonight with the green helmets and the L of Longview on each side of the helmet. They win the toss, they defer to the second half, and so, Coach, it's the Boyd offense that we see to start out the ball game after the national anthem.
And I think that's fine for Boyd. I think they're happy with getting to go out there offensively and try to execute and, not faced with covering Jalen Hale one-on-one on the first snap.
Never want to start out facing a generational talent on drive one.
I don't think so. I haven't seen too many of them, so I'm excited. He didn't get the football last year. North played them in the district last year. North actually beat them, but the quarterback couldn't get him the ball. North played lights out and actually won that game. So we didn't see as much of Jalen Hale as I expect to see tonight.
Getting closer to that national anthem and getting closer to kick. And let's now take a look at the weather. Kick time weather presented by Airview AC. 90 degrees and partly cloudy. We do have wind out of the east at 7 miles an hour. Little humid as we had some showers just kind of pass through the area at 48%. But not too much. Just kind of wet the cars on their way to the stadium.
But in Texas, 90-degree kickoff in August, that's a win. We've kicked off before when it's 108.
Oh.
So 90, it's warm, but it's Texas in August, right? So what do you expect?
Here come those Broncos out on the near sideline, and they've got the home Reds on tonight. A little bit of a new look here, Coach, for Boyd under Foster in year one. The white helmets. Looks like the numbers on the left side and then the Broncos logo on the right.
We've not seen that look before on the headgears, I don't believe. We've seen them wear all red before. And we talked about this last night on the air, that a lot of times coaches will let their captains or their seniors kind of vote and say what uniforms they're going to wear for certain games. And then also there are times in big games where coaches be superstitious and they feel better when they wear blue pants and gray blue tops and gray pants, and they'll say, no guys, no vote this week.
Yeah.
We're wearing blue over gray.
Well, and it's the Broncos down on the sideline, and time for the national anthem. We've got kickoff as the Boyd Broncos booting off week one tonight with the Longview Lobos in town. Kickoff next on 97.5 KLAK.
At the Thomas Auto Group, we're giving you triple the options. We've made sure finding your perfect ride is easier than ever. We have over 800 vehicles to choose from, including hundreds and hundreds of pre-owned cars, trucks, and SUVs. Just browse our website to view the outstanding selection of new and pre-owned Ford, Subaru, and Volkswagen vehicles. Plus, all vehicles sold come with the Thomas Promise, the low price promise, and 100% customer satisfaction guaranteed. Visit us at thomasautogroup.com or in McKinney today.
Shop Labor Day savings now at NFM. Thousands of styles are in stock and up to 60% off suggested retail. Find exactly what you're looking for, all backed by our low price guarantee. Add room for everyone with sectionals starting at $529 or a multi-use click-clack starting at $169. Plus, home office furniture starting at just $79. And holiday deals on appliances and electronics. Shop online or in-store with easy drive-through pickup and professional delivery available. Enjoy budget-friendly 30-month financing on furniture and flooring and 24-month financing on appliances and electronics when you use the NFM card. Make sure you stop by the store Saturday for our Forever Home Pet event with furry friends from Abandoned Pet Project. Plus, free crafts for Kids Crafter Day. More to love and more ways to save. All at NFM in Grandscape. Some exclusions apply. Minimum monthly payments required for financing. 18% APR. See store for details.
It's time for MISD football on 97.5 KLAK. Tonight's game is brought to you by the Thomas Auto Group, Grayson College, First United Bank McKinney, Pebble Path Pediatric Dentistry, Barrow's Pizza, and Airview AC. Now let's get this party started.
At MISD Stadium in McKinney, Texas, we're set to kick off the 2022 season for the McKinney Boyd Broncos. Under their head coach, Daniel Foster, for the first season, the Broncos coming off their best year last year since 2014. They welcome in the Lobos of Longview They won the 6A D2 state title in 2018, and they've got them tabbed to try and run it back this year. I'm Chris Jarrett. I've got Kevin McPherson to my left, the coach, Will Hodges, to my right. Let's play a football game tonight, Coach. You ready?
Yeah, I am ready. It's always fun, the opening week of high school football season. Kids have been working for this since Thanksgiving last year with, winter conditioning, and you're going to spring ball, and you're going to a summer camp, all their extra work during the summer, and then fall camp, and all culminates tonight.
Underway from MISD Stadium. The Lobos kicking off, and that's fielded by Sheldon King, the transfer who's got it, and he's swarmed just past the 15 on the near sideline. That's where the Broncos will set up shop. 1st and 10, Boyd coming up.
Really good directional kick by Longview, right in the corner. King had to make the reception. He wasn't going to go out of bounds, but he's on about the 3. Really squeezed him into the corner, and Longview does a nice job covering the kick.
And so we've got the Broncos set up on the near hash mark. They give them possession at the 18-yard line, their own 18, 1st and 10. Shackleton in the backfield. He's got King to his right. 2 receivers on the near sideline and the split man up top. 1st and 10, Boyd, beginning the ball game tonight. Play clock under 10. Shackleton takes a snap, pulls it, looks to sling it over the top, and it's caught at the 35-yard line. Little pitch and catch by the Broncos on the first play, and a big gain gets them closer to midfield.
Longview's got 7 in the box, and they're straight man coverage across the back, and just run the little skinny post right there. Nice throw, catch, good protection up front.
That's senior to senior as Shackleton links up with Peter Brohas, the split man up top. Shackleton back in the backfield with King to his right. 1 receiver near side, 2 up top. He gives it up the middle. King bouncing with some space on the outside. Looks to split the gap, and he's past midfield. Another first down picked up by the Broncos. They start the ball game hot on offense.
Just a little misdirection play. Handed to King. Let him break back to the outside. Nice job up front. Got everybody locked up. Hat on a hat. Plenty of room to run.
2 big plays by Foster and his Broncos out the gate. Last year's offensive coordinator under old coach McBride before the retirement. And he gives Foster the headset to call the plays. Shackleton gives it again. King following some blockers outside, past the line of scrimmage, and fights across the 45-yard line. Looks like tackle made by Jaden Simmons for the Lobos. The junior defensive back got in there to make the tackle.
That was just the inside zone, but the little bit of penetration by the down front of Longview made him bounce it outside. Longview can really run to the football defensively.
They like the matchup on the first play to throw to Brohas, but then back-to-back runs for the Broncos. 2nd down and 8. Shackleton in the backfield, takes a snap, looks to throw it, steps up in the pocket, lets one go downfield to the end zone and incomplete. Caleb Hensley, the senior intended receiver, but we've got a penalty marker on the play.
It looked to me like Boyd moved before the snap, but they should have blown that down if it was Boyd, so they may get Longview for offside.
45 of the defense in the neutral zone at the snap.
That's Jeremiah Rugley they got. Senior defensive lineman that moved up front a little too early. And the Lobos having that line of scrimmage move, that's what you want to avoid when you have your defense start out. Are those small penalties to begin the ball game.
We saw it last night. 2 touchdown catches for North were on long counts, got somebody jumped off sides, and then they threw it deep. And the defense kind of slowed down, let up, and allowed touchdowns.
Shackleton in the backfield, the senior quarterback with King to his right. 2 receivers split up top, staggered set, and the lone man on the near sideline. Shackleton, he'll pull it, wants to throw it. Pressure as he sails it up in the air, deep on the near sideline, and it's picked off. Shackleton looked like he got pressure early, sailed it up, and Ja'Kavon Curry, the defensive back, was able to haul it in, and almost like a punt on the near sideline. No one was around to try and bat it away. Was looking for Jonathan Patterson, who ended up making the tackle.
That pressure you discussed was a defensive lineman coming free, hit Shackleton in the chest and then all the way up to the face and then drove him into the ground. Thought they might get a flag on that for roughing it affected the throw. He threw it earlier than he would have if he didn't have the pressure.
2 big plays to start out the drive, but Longview, after committing the penalty, they get the pressure and they force an off-balance throw from Shackleton, and he sails it up and it's picked off. Longview tucked deep against their own goal line. Here they go, 1st and 10. They hand it right up the middle, little space, bouncing to the outside, and the ball dragged down as Taylor Tatum, the junior back, able to get across. Tackle made by Christian Turner, the defensive back.
Old school offensive play with a fullback. We're just going to run the lead the fullback on the inside linebacker right there. We're going to base everybody down and get a good push. They did for 9 yards.
Longview Lobos, the beasts from the east, driving in their own end, just past their own 10-yard line. Looking to throw. Thrown over top on the near sideline. It's caught past the 20-yard line. Jaden Simmons able to haul it in, for he's forced out of bounds. And that'll move the chains, 1st and 10.
You know, Hale makes the catch. They just ran the little out route, but as he's coming off the ball, Boyd's DBs are really backpedaling because they know what kind of athlete he is and how much speed he has, so they give him plenty of cushion. So that's a real easy throw and catch for Longview.
A lot of a sophomore class from last year for Longview that cut their teeth. And now penalty markers. Boyd likes what they see on the defensive end of the things, and Longview coach already moving back.
Well, Boyd shifts to the front a lot as people get lined up, and they'll shift and they'll slide. And it's a thinly disguised opportunity for the offensive line to jump and
movement,
get you 5 free yards.
John King on the far sideline working the far official right at the line of scrimmage. That moves the Lobos back 5. And it's now 1st and 15. Elijah Johnson, the fullback, back there, looking to throw. Pass over top. Catch is made just past the 20, but the Broncos able to rally to the ball quickly. Tackle made up front by Jonathan Patterson, playing both ways.
Yeah, Patterson comes in. The catch was to Reese, the wide receiver, away from Hale. He's not giving him as much room as he did for Hale. Much faster on the breakup to make the play.
Looks like Longview so far wants to keep a lot of the action close to the line of scrimmage. As you mentioned, it was DeKalen Reese getting the ball, a little out route, and see if he can make a play on the near sideline. Good job by Boyd getting the tackle out of bounds. It sets up a 2nd and 11. 8:33 to go in the first quarter, scoreless. Quarterback Allen, he's going to give it, and nothing up front, swamped as the Broncos defense get there, led by Hayden Jenkins.
Well, and also Andrew Dawson in on the tackle. Dawson has moved to the outside backer position that was manned last year by Wisłowski, who had one of the best defensive seasons I've seen in McKinney high school football since 1983, since I've been here. Great player. They've moved Dawson into that spot. Really good football player.
Talked to Dawson about what he thought about Wisłowski and just smiled and said, how can you replace a guy like that? 3rd down and long, 14 as Allen throws it over the middle. Catch is made at the 40-yard line. Buying some space, and now in the open, a foot race on the near sideline. Nobody's going to catch him. Jalen Hale to the house with no flags on the field for an 82-yard touchdown strike. On 3rd and 14, they cash it in.
Well, you cash it in by throwing to otherworldly athletes out there. It was just a simple dig route, and he threw into traffic. Boyd had 2 guys close, weren't able to knock it down or make the tackle. Then he broke to the sideline, the near sideline, and outran all the Broncos to the end zone. I guess Coach King was on the money. Hale looked pretty impressive.
Lot of shifty movement after making the catch. There were about 2 or 3 Broncos that had a chance to make a play. Extra point team on. Kick is up, and kick is good. Longview striking first with 7:35 to go in the first half. They cash in on a 5-play, 82-yard drive, and they strike first. Back after this on 97.5 KLAK.
At the Thomas Auto Group, we're giving you triple the options. We've made sure finding your perfect ride is easier than ever. We have over 800 vehicles to choose from, including hundreds and hundreds of pre-owned cars, trucks, and SUVs. Just browse our website to view the outstanding selection of new and pre-owned Ford, Subaru, and Volkswagen vehicles. Plus, all vehicles sold come with the Thomas Promise, the low price promise, and 100% customer satisfaction guaranteed. Visit us at thomasautogroup.com or in McKinney today.
Back to McKinney ISD football, live on 97.5 KLAK.
Longview striking first on a 5-play, 97-yard drive, 82-yard touchdown pass, and like that, the Lobos taking the first lead of the night.
Well, it's a 12-yard dig route, and if you can make the tackle, it's first down, here we go, and let's play defense. But you got to make the tackle.
That was on a 3rd and 14 nonetheless. And the Lobos kicking this one shallow. It's fielded right at the 30, and boy, did they get to the football fast. Credit on hopping on the ball. That looked like it was Peter Brojas that got there. 1st and 10, Boyd, as they're going to try and recover from what they did, Coach. It was a great start to their initial drive after getting the opening kick. 2 big plays got him past midfield, but a little pressure and an interception for the senior quarterback.
Yeah, it was a big-time shot on Shackleton. And you got to keep the big guys out. You got to pass protect.
So Boyd hitting the reset. They'll start what looks like just shy of their own 35-yard line. 1st and 10. Shackleton in the backfield has got 2 receivers to his left on the near sideline. Fakes the pass. He'll give it to King up the middle, and he's met pretty quick. Able to force the ball past the 30, but not much after that.
Well, it's a draw play, and you want to invite the defensive line up the field and then take them where they're going, but somebody's got to come off and get to the middle backer, and they just couldn't get to him.
Tackle made by Caden Brooks for a loss, and it's 2nd down and 12 coming up.
Caden Brooks is playing the middle backer and really read that play well. Stepped up under the guard that was coming for him. Able to make the play.
Boyd's got it as we're in the first quarter, under 7 minutes to go. And some movement before the snap. Flag dropped. What looks like a free play on the near sideline. Pass thrown up, and it's caught. Deep shot on the near sideline as Shackleton able to heave it up, and Caleb Hensley, the senior wideout, hauled it in.
Just like the North game we saw last night, you get them off sides. You go ahead and take the deep shot with the free play. Great throw by the senior quarterback.
And that is a First United Bank McKinney first down. That's a big haul, 37 yards, as Shackleton was able to link up with his fellow senior Hensley on the near sideline. Of course, the penalty marker, they decline. Coach, the pass game looks good early.
Yeah, you just got to protect, right?
Shackleton with it, with the ball at the 33 in Longview territory. Thrown over the middle, catch is made. Shackleton, another great throw as it was caught at the 15. Pyle dragged to what looks like inside the 10. And Shackleton linking up with Ben Podor, the junior wideout. Another big pass play, and the Broncos really chunking some yards on drive number 2.
That's just a deep slant or the skinny post, whichever you want to call it, but they're in man coverage right there, and they don't have a free safety. He was cheated over to the trip side, or to the twin side, so nobody in the middle of the field.
And a new back in the backfield next to Shackleton is Andrew Dawson, who plays both ways. Shackleton will give it to Dawson up the middle, meets a pile, tries to lower the pads to the 10, and get some help from his buddies behind him. About 1 yard gain, and the tackle made by Tadarion Boone, the senior defensive back, got in there.
Well, and so he was coming on a blitz, but when Coach talked to us about Dawson playing running back, said he was a running back when he was in the younger grades.
Yeah.
He's not all about the shift and the move and the wiggle of the hips. He's about getting the shoulder square and coming straight downhill at you.
2nd and 10, right at the 10 of Longview. Boyd trying to even up the score. They trail 7-0, 5:30. Shackleton rolling out on a designed rollout to the far sideline. Looks to throw, tucks it himself, and runs out of room. No gain, as he had it 2nd and 10 at the 10. And it looked like just ran out of bounds as Taylor Tatum was there.
And Longview brought 7 that time. The Broncos were able to pick it up, but it was good that they had a full roll on sprint out right there.
Yeah.
but Longview was able to man coverage to really shut everybody down. No place for Shackleton to go with the football.
He was trying to look to throw it to Peter Brohas, but was covered pretty well by Longview behind the line of scrimmage. This sets up a big 3rd down and 10. Clock stops at 5:24. And the Broncos, with the play clock down under 5, they got to go quick. And a timeout taken. So Coach Foster wants to take a timeout and talk things over with 5:24. And so this is a big 3rd down, Coach, as they've got it basically 3rd down and goal with where the down marker is. I'm not sure it's possible for them to get a 1st down without scoring, but after the interception, they're trying to cash in here.
Yeah, you've got to get some points out of this, and I think that's what Coach Foster and the offensive staff are going to talk about. We've got to get points, so let's not make any risky throws, but we want to give ourselves a chance to get 7. We've had a couple of big plays. We've gotten this situation, so what's our best play to get 12, to get in the end zone? Now, second part of that equation is it's gotten a multiplier of 5 harder to throw the football down here because you don't have as much room.
Correct.
So it's easier to cover people in that short space.
Boyd got to the spot on the field as Coach talking about with the deep shots. They've had a lot of long pass plays, but now with not as much wiggle room to work with, and Longview stacking up the defense, trying to stub the toes of the Broncos on drive number 2. What does Foster and Boyd have up their sleeves here, as it looks like King back with Shackleton, and likely something in the air coming on 3rd and 10, knocking on the goal line of the Lobos. 7-0 deficit for Boyd, but a chance to match the score here. Shackleton with King to his right, 2 on the near sideline. Takes the snap, looks to dump it off. Pressure again, over the middle, thrown, and an interception dropped in the end zone, but there's a penalty marker back what looked like in the pocket when Shackleton got rid of it.
Thrown by the umpire, and that's usually a hold.
3rd down and 10. The pass to the end zone was dropped, and now the officials look like they're set.
Offense number 60. Fly.
Joey Dixon got whistled for it, so instead of a 3rd and 15, King and the Lobos declined to move Boyd back 5.
They brought both an inside linebacker and a safety that time. They brought more than Boyd could handle. Joey Dixon, who got the flag, is the most experienced Boyd offensive lineman. This is his 3rd year to start at the center position.
This looks like a 27-yarder as it lines up. Caleb Simpembwe, the senior kicker, out there to boot this through. Movement up front. The snap is back. No flags. Kick is well good if it's on line, and it is. Simpembwe drilling a 27-yarder, and that's how Boyd able to settle on their 2nd drive. They move the ball really well, but they settle for 3. 7-3, Longview in front with 5:14 to go in the first quarter. Stepping aside on 97.5 KLAK.
Greatness. It's not born of coincidence. It's not a product of luck. It's forged through dedication, drills, and the acquisition of new skills. Wanting won't get you there, but sweat equity just might.
The team here at Pebble Path Pediatric Dentistry and Orthodontics is rooting for our 3 fabulous McKinney teams during this high school football season. Count on us for all of your kids' dental needs. And it's a great time to start with braces. Online at pebblepathdds.com.
McKinney ISD football continues on 97.5 KLAK.
7-play drive that goes 56 yards and ends in a 27-yard field goal for the senior Caleb Simpembwe. 7-3 Lobos in front, and Longview set to get the ball back with plenty of time to go in this first quarter. Chris Jarrett, Will Hodges to my right, Kevin McPherson to my left. Big shout out to Jeremy Frazier back in the studio. Week 1 for the Boyd Broncos. And they're posing a good threat on offense, Coach, but they got to start to stop the ball on defense.
Yeah, got to be able to make the plays in space, and against good athletes, that's what it comes down to. Can you make the tackle in open space?
Simpembwe drills this one deep to the goal line, and it's going to bounce and roll out of the back of the end zone. Simpembwe's got a boot, and he pushed that one clear through the back end of the goal line. So here comes Longview for their 2nd drive. We're on drive 1. They went deep over top, and it was Allen finding Hale for an 80-plus yard touchdown strike on third down and way long in their own end.
Yeah, I want to shift to the other side of the ball. That's twice Shackleton has taken big licks when he's trying to release the football. You got to pick that stunner up right there.
First down and 10 for the Lobos at their own 25-yard line. Deep tailback takes the ball up the middle and tries to follow his blocker. Stays on his feet, still spinning and moving as he fights to the 30. Taylor Tatum, the ball carrier there, Will.
Gets 5. Broncos had him wrapped up at 3 and just didn't get him on the turf. You have backups in the game, or you have guys on special teams that play with a lot of intensity because they're trying to work their way onto the field, get more playing time, and it just increases the competition for your team.
So they take out Tatum, and they bring in Johnson, who's listed as the fullback. Allen looks to throw. Short pass out wide. Catch is made at the 36. And a little shifty movement carries the ball past the 40-yard line and a first down for Longview.
Just the stop route at about 4. Boyd comes up and makes the play. He falls forward for 5.5, maybe even 6.
Jartavian Wright, the intended receiver, out there wide. The senior wideout at 6'3", 185. That's a big target. Was able to haul it in. First down and 10 for Longview. At their own 40-yard line, knocking on midfield. Allen in the pocket, gets the snap, looks to throw, unloads over the middle of the field, and a jump ball in the air, and it falls harmlessly to the turf. Looking for Jalen Hale again, way over top, and pressure in the backfield.
Kristen Turner, nice job out at corner right there, was in good position. He's got to close that gap on him. He's giving him plenty of room when he tries to run the deep post. He's got to be able to close that gap, get his hands on the football.
Credit the 6'2 junior Hayden Jenkins that got in there. As Jordan Allen winding up to throw, that was a little bit of a risky throw. It's one-on-one, but he trusted his guy in Hale way over top one-on-one to come down with it. Now 2nd and 10. The give to the line, bouncing outside, and maybe a gain of 4 on the play. Ball carrier looked to be Kelvin Washington.
That was just the ISO to the near side. Boyd does a nice job of stuffing it up. He breaks it off backside, and the safety, Burton, comes up to make the play.
That was number 20 Washington tackling number 20 Burton. Third down and about 6 yards to go.
Big play here for the Bronco defense. Really would like to get them off the field here.
Huddle coming up, and play clock going down to 5. Longview has to go fast here, and instead they're going to burn a timeout. So with 3:10 to go in the first quarter, third down and very short, about 6 yards, call it. Longview wants to take a timeout, and so will we. Back for a big third down next on 97.5 KLAK.
Life is yours to spend. Spend it expanding your balance. Spend it expanding your mind. Spend it wondering what comes next. Spend it trusting that God has a plan. Spend it taking small steps in your own life. Spend it making a big impact on someone else's. First United Bank. Spend life wisely.
McKinney ISD football continues on 97.5 KLAK.
Big third down coming up after the Longview timeout. They've got it just shy of midfield. Let's see what they drew up for 3rd and 6 with 3:10 to go in the first quarter. Lobos in front 7-3. Boyd defense looking for a big stop. Allen, the man with 2 backs behind him, pulls it, looks to throw, pass out wide. It's caught at the 45 and a first down. He looked for Tatum on a play action, rolled out, and dumped it off. And Jonathan Patterson was there to run him out of bounds. 1st and 10 Longview.
Yeah, and that's an easy throw, easy pitch and catch right there. And the secondary has to bail to really go back with the speed of the wide receivers, so there's plenty of room.
So the Lobos move the chains on a designed play action and a rollout on the near sideline. They've got it on the near hash. Past midfield at about the 46, 1st and 10. They give it up the middle. Little hole, but the pack gets there quickly. Ball carrier was Elijah Johnson on the play, but they're blowing this one dead.
Got a
flag on the far sideline there.
Far sideline penalty. We'll hear from the official. Or not.
5 men in the backfield on the offense.
It's an alignment penalty.
Too many bodies in the backfield for Longview will move them back 5 yards.
And tight end was probably off the ball with the wing over there on that side. Short yardage look, and they didn't have enough people on the line of scrimmage.
Longview had it past midfield. Now it moves them back in their own territory, but by just a yard. They've got it at their own 49 for 1st and 15. Lobos have struggled with the penalties out the gate. That's their 3rd for 15 yards. I formation, 2 receivers out wide to the left. Allen gives it up the middle. Tatum with it, bursting through the box and now into the secondary. Still on his feet and finally tackled just shy of the Boyd 30. A big run for a first down.
Yeah, that was a 6-yard play, but you have missed tackles, you have broken tackles. He appears to be really tough to bring down, so it turns into a 15-yard gain.
And Tatum comes right out. He checks in, makes a huge play right up the middle, bouncing off of defenders and then coming out. 1st and 10 as Longview continues to move. Give up the middle, and it looks like it's Johnson, the fullback again. Tackled on the far side by Jadir Al-Nasri.
They just put the tailback out in a slot set and just had that short handoff. It's actually a zone play to the big-bodied fullback and get a lot of push out of the offensive line. 7-8 yards at a clip right now.
Foster said that the good teams have to play defense. Of course, this not a district game, but noted that defense, they're going to hang their hat on their defense this season, and what a week 1 test with Longview in town. 2nd down and short, about 2. Allen gives it up the middle, and again it's Tatum slipping off a tackle, bouncing to the outside, stays on his feet, past the 15, and finally brought down inside the 15-yard line for another first down. Tackle made by Brett Burton on the play.
And really bad news. It looks like Dawson. I think that's Dawson. Is that 10?
It looks like 10, and 10 would be Hayden Jenkins, who has already made some pressure and caused some havoc defensively. The junior defensive lineman is up on his feet. A little slow, though, and Foster out there to have a word with his junior. He got up, took a couple steps, and now is back up. And so now with that, Davis Nance, the sophomore defensive lineman, wearing 68, coming in for Boyd defensively.
Yeah, it's that's not an easy deal, bringing a sophomore against these cats. But I don't think this is certainly not a cramp situation. Certainly he's got an injury. He's tried to get up and walk off twice, now going back down to a knee as the trainer's talking to him. And I'm sure the trainer's, talking to him about it, where does it hurt? Don't try to, give us this man show and jog off the field. If you're banged up, let's talk about it before we try to get out of here.
And so the ones for Boyd were just jogging and broke the defensive huddle. They were trying to get back out to the ball. But it's still Hayden Jenkins that is being treated to. The Longview offense breaking their huddle, as they, of course, want to treat to him and make sure that they can assist him out on the field. But now he's slowly, with some help, making his way, and now by his own power, making his way off the near sideline.
He's pretty gingerly.
Yeah. Well, and the good news is, Coach, he doesn't really look like any big limp. No understanding of what is taking him off the field, but at least he is walking on his own and maybe just a little rattled up here.
He's got a little hitch in his get along on his left side.
Yeah, the left leg there. Longview continues to work their way via the ground game down the field. They've got it on the far hash, 1st and 10 in an I formation. Allen, the man over center, and a dry count, looks to the far sideline with plenty of time on the play clock. 50 seconds in the first quarter. Allen gives it, pulls it, keeps it himself, and the quarterback trying to bounce outside, but the Broncos got there quickly. Tackle made by Jake Park, the defensive back senior, that snuffed it out and got right in there.
Yeah, they went double tight with a fullback just a yard and a half behind the quarterback. That's a mindset right there. That's telling you they believe they can line up and knock you off the football and get whatever they want.
It's the first time we've seen Allen keep it himself and pull the football and try and use his own power. Late substitution as Carson Denning, the junior, just got off the field. Allen snaps it, throws in the air, and Hale up and down, snatches it for a Longview touchdown. 11-yard strike as it looked like Allen just dropped back and sailed it up to Jalen Hale, and a senior connection for 6.
Well, and a really good play when you've got a guy whose vertical is 38, 40, 42 right there, and you're playing against a 5'9" corner. And so it's good execution. Ball's thrown in the corner of the end zone. He goes up and high points the football, and there's not a whole lot you can do except interfere with it.
Extra point crew is on, and the kick is up and good with just 12 ticks left in the first quarter. Second touchdown in the air for Longview tonight gives the Lobos a 14-3 lead. Back on 97.5 KLAK for the end of the first quarter.
Life is an adventure, and it's time to raise anchor and embark on your voyage at Grayson College. Our success coaches are here to help you plot your course and navigate your path. As a Viking, you will receive all the tools necessary to conquer your goals. With ongoing enrollment, it's never too late. Set sail here at home with Grayson College. Visit grayson.edu to get started today.
Back to McKinney ISD football, live on 97.5 KLAK.
Back with just 12 seconds left in the first quarter. It's Longview 14, Boyd 3. I'm Chris Sherrod. I've got Will Hodges, Kevin McPherson to my left. And it's been quite the showing offensively for Longview. Coach, we were talking about it. That's a tough play to defend because you can't exactly just draw the coverage over to that side.
Well, if you do, move a backer over there, outside backer, and get underneath him, or roll the corner up and have the safety behind and go 2-on-1 over there, they're just going to run the ball if you don't have enough in the box to handle everything that they can do. So you're hoping that, it's overthrown, underthrown, but we've seen what Hale can do on these 2 touchdowns that he's put together so far.
10-play drive for 80 yards. That took 5 minutes off the clock. And an 11-yard touchdown to boot. This one's booted. Shy of the goal line, though, just past the 5, and a kick return on. Got to quickly as Joel Hatton, the defensive back, called it in, and he got met quickly.
Yeah, Boyd had a guy there for him, a kick-out block right there, and he whiffed on it. So that's the guy that made the play. He's the gunner, goes straight to the football. That outside contained guy outside of him. Everybody else was in their lanes. Had a chance for a decent run back if they get the kick-out block accomplished.
14-3, Longview in front with 8 seconds left in the first quarter. And so really all the Broncos have to do is just likely run one play here and take it to the quarter break.
Yeah, and you have a chance to talk to your offense as that happens.
Shackleton with King to his left. He's got 2 receivers near sideline, and one up top is Brohaus. Takes the snap, looks to give it. King's got it, bouncing to the outside. Finds some space, looking for the 20 before he's wrapped up and dropped hard. Tackle made by Willie Nelson, the junior defensive back that came in. And that will bring the first quarter to a close. Longview pacing the way in front of Boyd. 14-3 our score at the end of one quarter. And we will step aside and come back with the second quarter after this on 97.5 KLAK.
High school football. In McKinney, it's what we're all dedicated to, isn't it? It's a way of life here in Texas. Barrow's Pizza McKinney wants to give a big shout out in support of our high school football games at the big stadium in McKinney. And we wish all the athletes and everyone it takes to make the games happen the very best of luck. Why not score the best pizza after the game tonight? Barrow's Pizza. Order online at barrowspizza.com.
Greatness. It's not born of coincidence. It's not a product of luck. It's forged through dedication, drills, and the acquisition of new skills. Wanting won't get you there, but sweat equity just might.
The team here at Pebble Path Pediatric Dentistry and Orthodontics is rooting for our 3 fabulous McKinney teams during this high school football season. Count on us for all of your kids' dental needs, and it's a great time to start with braces. Online at pebblepathdds.com.
McKinney ISD football continues on 97.5 KLAK.
14-3, Longview out in front as we're set to start a brand new second quarter with 12 minutes up on the clock. Will Hodges to my right, Kevin McPherson to my left. I'm Chris Jarrett with Boyd. Broncos football as Friday Night Lights back in the state of Texas. Boyd with it at their own 20. They had about a 2-yard run play on first down. Make it 3 as it's 2nd and 7 to begin the second quarter. Shackleton with it. Pump fakes to his left, now keeps it. Steps up through the pressure, sails it off on the far sideline. What a pitch and catch. Tackle made past the 40-yard line as about 20 yards taken off there on a big little pitch from Shackleton to Sheldon King out of the backfield for the big gain.
Well, and that's what we talked about in pregame. That's Shackleton's experience. He dodged the first rusher, got underneath him, looked like he was going to run, and then just dumped it down for the first down.
That is another first down presented by First United Bank McKinney. 1st and 10, Boyd, as they've had some big plays offensively, finding some space out wide on the Lobos DBs. Shackleton with it, about 4 yards deep in the pocket. Takes the snap, pulls it from King, sails a strike over the middle of the field and a few paces in front.
Yeah, he missed that throw, and I'll tell you why he missed it. There was a linebacker in the lane, and so I'm not going to throw it to the linebacker. I'm going to throw it where he can't get it, and hopefully my receiver will be able to get there. He was not able to. But good choice. Don't want to throw that pick right there.
Tight window and good coverage as his intended receiver. Over the top was Ben Podor, junior wideout.
Yeah, the junior wideout had him beat, had the corner beat, but the linebacker dropped into his curl zone, curled the hook, and took that away.
That sets up a 2nd and 10. Shackleton with King to his right. And, movement up front early. John King, the head coach for Longview on the far sideline, all over it, saw the movement and wanted it. And, of course, he got it because they moved too fast. And the man whistled for the penalties, the junior Kyle Zimmerman, that flinched up front before the snap of the ball.
Yeah, they were going to pull. He was going to scoop down inside. The guard was going to pull. He was going to scoop down inside. And he just... That happens a lot of times. Offensive linemen, you got to move. You got to get across somebody's face. You want to jerk out of there in a hurry, and you beat the snap count.
Broncos pretty disciplined tonight, especially in the first half. That's just their first penalty, but it cost them 5. 2nd and 15. Shackleton with King to his right, takes the snap, wants to throw, quickly gets rid of it, thrown over top, tipped, and almost picked. Oh, what a gut-wrenching drop as Willie Nelson had it tipped, and right in his numbers, in and out of his hands. 3rd down and 15 coming up.
Yeah, the outside linebacker came that time, Chase Smith, and drilled Shackleton for the 3rd time. Not able to get a sack, but those are cumulative hits. They take their toll on the quarterback.
On the ground, Boyd with 18 rushing yards, but through the air, they've found 100 of their 118 tonight so far in the first half. But a tough one, 3rd down and 15 with the clock stopped at 11 minutes to go in the first half of football. Play clock dwindling. Shackleton gets the snap off, fakes the give to King. Long rollout left side, now spins back looking for the screen. King's got it, facing pressure, shakes out of a tackle, then just fights for the 30. And Longview able to rally after a long and tall throw from Shackleton across the field. King actually lost yardage there.
Throwback screen, a couple of things happened to break that play down. He got more pressure than he really wanted to have out there wide, and Longview speed reacting to the football on that long throw, as you called it, across the field. It's evident how Longview can run on the defensive side.
To Darian Boone and Chase Smith were the two that made the tackle. Jalen Hale, the man back to return the punt. It's a tall, towering kick. Whoops! Botched and bouncing to the 15. Is that ball live? Broncos hop on it, and they think they've got the football. They do.
Wow.
A muffed punt as it split the wickets on the return attempt. The back man was Willie Nelson, and it looked like it was Jonathan Patterson, the man that hopped on the ball.
I think it was Hale back there catching that. And I think at the last minute he decided, no, this is not a good choice. They're too close and didn't signal fair catch. tried to pull his hands back, but the head linesman said, no, you got ball, you got contact. Boyd was able to jump on it and have great field position.
Boy, you got to just, even if there's any doubt, you got to hop on the ball. But that sets Boyd up fantastic at what looks like might be first and goal. It is first and goal at the Lobos 9, and their best chance of the night to find the end zone. First down, Shackleton in the backfield takes a snap. Rolling long, gets rid of it, and a low throw. Pressure on the far side as Jeremiah Rugley got in there and got the hand in the face of Shackleton as he was trying to dump it off to King, but too much pressure.
Well, the outside linebacker, he's on the line of scrimmage that time, and he just comes straight up as we got a little half roll out of the Boyd offense. Offensive tackle couldn't reach out and get his hands on him. The back is in the flat, it's who they're trying to throw to, so Shackleton's got to dump it over before he gets there, but he's just so quick.
Tyler Lutka coming out. Ben Podor, the receiver, up tall. And Trips setting up to the left with King next to Shackleton. He'll give it. King looking to keep it on the ground. Splits the gap in the end zone for a Boyd touchdown. A 9-yard rush for Sheldon King, his first in a Broncos uniform. And Boyd with their first touchdown of the night with 9:40 to go in the second quarter.
Great kick out block by Colton Madigan, the right guard. Kicks out the contained guy. Nice. Everybody else is sealed inside. King puts his outside foot in the turf and turns straight up north and south and gets it in the end zone.
And so they cash in on the botched punt return by Longview. They've had some penalties, and now special teams. Boyd hopping on the ball, and on 2 plays able to get in the end zone. Kick is up, and kick is good. With 9:40 to go before halftime, it's Longview 14, and Boyd making it a ball game with 10. Step aside on 97.5 KLAK.
High school football. In McKinney, it's what we're all dedicated to, isn't it? It's a way of life here in Texas. Barrow's Pizza in McKinney wants to give a big shout out in support of our high school football games at the big stadium in McKinney. And we wish all the athletes and everyone it takes to make the games happen the very best of luck. Why not score the best pizza after the game tonight? Barrow's Pizza. Order online at barrowspizza.com. McKinney ISD football continues on 97.5 KLAK.
9:40 to go before halftime, and a botched special teams play sets up Boyd for the touchdown. That was a key to the game, was it not? I believe it was.
Special teams, and you can't let it beat you. You just have to execute in special teams. What I'm sure the Longview coaches are telling Jalen Hale, hey, I know you're another world of talent, but if you don't feel comfortable catching the ball, get away and let it bounce.
Yeah.
And so kind of tried to do too much with that one. Boyd defenders' punt covers were right in his face. Maybe took his eyes off of it last minute before he pulled away.
Jalen Hill back deep. Taylor Tatum on the near sideline, and the kick's long. And Hale with it, bringing it out. Takes it past the 15, past the 20. Lowers the pads as he's trying to power to the 25, but just shy of it. Tackle made right between the hash marks by Brett Burton. And the Lobos back with it, first down and 10 in their own end.
I got to tell you, though, I like Jalen Hale going straight ahead. I like my kickoff returners to go 100 miles an hour as fast as they can. And you would think special talents like that would try to dance and make moves. And he went straight ahead right into contact.
A lot of pass options for Allen in the backfield. But instead he keeps it on the ground. They give up the middle looking for the secondary. Ball carried past the 35 and tackled eventually by Christian Turner just shy of the 40. Elijah Johnson, the fullback, running the rock and getting big yards, first and 10.
Yeah, I think their fullbacks and tailbacks are interchangeable at this point.
Looks like Tatum coming out. Angel Ramos checking in, the senior tight end at 5'11", 215. He'll stack up with a big body on the far end. And 2 split receivers for Jordan Allen to the near sideline. Tailback option to his right. He'll take the snap and give it. Quick resistance up front early. And the Broncos pushing him back past the 35, and a big loss on the play. And that time it was Brett Burton again to get in there.
Burton
has been busy.
Burton we saw play a lot last year in the secondary. They brought the safety up, cheated him up pretty close to the line of scrimmage. When he saw offensive line come off and run block, he accelerated to the football.
2nd down and 13 after the loss for Longview. They again send pass options out. Taylor Tatum in the slot. Hale out wide on the near sideline. Allen looking to throw it that way. Stepping out of pressure. Throws it to the near sideline and nobody home. Incomplete. Well guarded by the Boyd secondary, setting up a 3rd and 13 to go.
That's a coverage throwaway right there, caused, but as you said, no place to go to the football. He escaped to the near sideline. Now you're running left and trying to throw right, so that's a tough throw. Smart decision. Throw it to some Boyd parent in the stands.
198 total yards offensively for Longview, knocking on the door of 200 in the first half. Lobos have cashed in, though, on 3rd down tonight. They're 2 for 2, and Coach, one of them was 80-plus yards to the house back in the first quarter.
Got to make the tackle. It was about a 12-yard route, deep dig route. You've got to make the play on it.
Coach Foster's fired up. Another timeout taken by Longview deep in the play clock as it was down to 2 seconds as they were breaking the huddle. We'll step aside. 8:16 to go before halftime, and Longview in front 14-10 over Boyd on 97.5 KLAK.
Greatness. It's not born of coincidence. It's not a product of luck. It's forged through dedication, drills, and the acquisition of new skills. Wanting won't get you there, but sweat equity just might.
The team here at Pebble Path Pediatric Dentistry and Orthodontics is rooting for our 3 fabulous McKinney teams during this high school football season. Count on us for all of your kids' dental needs, and it's a great time to start with braces. Online at pebblepathdds.com.
Back to McKinney ISD football, live on 97.5 KLAK.
Lobos still huddled up, but it's the Broncos defense that's been hanging in there. They've got a 3rd and 13 imposed against Longview. And a long timeout. Here comes the Lobos offense for a big 3rd down.
I'd be shocked if they don't try to get the ball to Hale or use him as a decoy right here.
Hale in the slot on the near sideline, right on the near hash marks. Allen, the man, takes the snap. Quarterback in trouble. They get to the quarterback and drop him way in the backfield. A big sack on 3rd down makes it 4th and way long. Hudson Piner, the senior backer, got in there.
Yeah, they brought more than the Lobos had to pick him up. Piner makes the big play, causes the punt. Again, the quarterback's hesitation was caused by nice coverage in the back end.
Offensive coordinator Jeremy Turner already with the offense huddled up. They're ready to get the ball back with 7:40 and ticking in the second quarter. Another late substitution by Boyd, but they do get a man off. Play clock down to 7. Back deep for Boyd is Caleb Hensley, all alone, standing at his own 40. Snap is back, and the kick is high and away. Hensley with it, called for a fair catch, and spotted just past Boyd's own 35-yard line. They mark him right at the 37. Here comes the offense in a 14-10 deficit and a chance to take their first lead of the night, Coach.
Yeah, you got to go out and execute now, but they've got really nice field position. They're feeling good about themselves. They just, last play they ran on offense, they put it in the end zone. So here we go.
Your keys working hand in hand here. The Boyd defense, and now segueing to Shackleton back in the pocket. The senior quarterback returning for another year with Boyd. And his offense was able to cash it in after a special teams botch on the recent drive. Now the offense has to move the ball 63 yards down the field. They've got 7+ minutes. Shackleton gives it. King with it, running into some defenders and met before the line of scrimmage. And the man to get in there was Tadarian Boone, the senior defensive back that flew in hot.
It's going to be difficult to make a living running side to side against the Lobo defense. You've got to make a move and then go north and south, get your shoulders down. You're not going to outrun them to the corner from what I've seen so far.
Well, the stats are talking for Boyd. They've got 96, almost 100 yards through the air, only 25 on the ground. 2nd down and 12 as they go backwards on 1st and 10. Shackleton with it, standing right at the 30. Takes the ball, picks up a big block from King, but in trouble. Scrambling, heaves it to the near sideline, and it falls into the defensive huddle. Third down and 12 coming up, and a late flag coming in.
Trying to throw to the tight end hot, but the defensive end grabbed him by the jersey and threw him down at the line of scrimmage. No place for Shackleton to go with the football.
I think Coach King wanted an intentional grounding. Officials coming together as the flag is coming from the 30, and he was upset on the far sideline, and now the officials talking. See what the white hat comes away with here.
I think he was out of the box, tackle box.
Oh, it goes on King. That was on Sheldon King as he was trying to pick up the pressure for his quarterback Shackleton, coach, and they call him for an illegal block as he dove and tried to take out the knees of the defender.
Well, and let's be honest. He's not trying to take out the knees. What he's doing is trying to get him down low because the guy outweighs him about 55 pounds, and so I'm amazed at this. It's all about safety, though, and I'm fine with that. The rule changes involve whether it's chop block or whether it's cracking from inside or outside to inside or that low block right there. He was evidently lined up outside the guy that he chopped.
That's a long penalty. Moves him back for second down and very long. Shackleton, after a draw, gives it to King. Looking to bounce to the far sideline, and he's finally ran out by the defender, number 18, Ja'Kavon Curry. Not much. He must have stepped out long before he was able to turn it upfield and third down and long.
And that's a nice executed play up front. They do a nice job inviting people, and they got kicked everybody past the running back. They even got somebody on the middle linebacker. The outside backer is so quick that he was able to recover from his curl to hook responsibilities and chase him out for just a 2 or 3 yard gain.
6:31 clock stopped to go in the second quarter. Third down and 19 at the 27. Shackleton takes it, pump fake, stepping up in pressure, throws, and it's caught. Past the 40-yard line and looking for midfield as the pile continues to get pushed. Looked like they got the sophomore tight end Tyler Wall with the catch, and that gets him a lot closer, Coach. This is 4th down and 2 and maybe decision time here.
Well, I tell you, Ryan Shackleton is going to be sore tomorrow morning. He just took another huge shot, hung in there, dumped the ball down after he'd avoided one tackle. Wouldn't be surprised to see Boyd run his clock down and take a timeout right here and talk about it, and also eat another 15 seconds of play clock.
They don't look like they're in too much of a hurry with under 10 on the play clock. 5:45 and rolling. And Coach Foster right next to the near official, watching that play clock go all the way down, and 5:40 is where he burns a timeout. We'll step aside on 97.5 KLAK. Boyd driving, 4th down and 2 at midfield after a short break.
At the Thomas Auto Group, we're giving you triple the options. We've made sure finding your perfect ride is easier than ever. We have over 800 vehicles to choose from, including hundreds and hundreds of pre-owned cars, trucks, and SUVs. Just browse our website to view the outstanding selection of new and pre-owned Ford, Subaru, and Volkswagen vehicles. Plus, all vehicles sold come with the Thomas Promise, the low price promise, and 100% customer satisfaction guaranteed. Visit us at thomasautogroup.com or in McKinney today.
McKinney ISD football continues on 97.5 KLAK.
Back for a big 4th down and 2 just shy of midfield with 5:40 to go in the first half. Longview in front of Boyd from MISD Stadium, 14-10. Chris Jarrett, Will Hodges, Kevin McPherson, and a big decision here, Coach. You either go for it or you punt it away and you try and tuck them deep. But you got to roll a shot here and try and roll the dice.
Well, I think there are two schools of thought. Do you want to punt it and try to get them 80 yards from the end zone, or do you want to try to? Yeah. I'm going to pull the upset right here in the second quarter.
Yeah.
It looks like they're going to go with a punt. I'm not so sure that's exactly what I would have done as well.
Not a wrong decision necessarily on 4th and 2 as they look to try and pin them deep. Kicks a high and good one on the near sideline. Got to get to the ball. And it's going to bounce into the end zone. A long punt, and it melts 10 seconds off the clock, resulting in a touchback. So Longview does take back over at their own 20-yard line with 5:30 to go in the first half.
Longview was so sure they weren't going to punt, they didn't have a receiver back. No one back. And, of course, that you couple the drop punt last time, the muff punt, last time, along with 4th and 2. I think they may be going for it. They're going to roll the dice. That leads you to not put a returner back. Worked out fine for them. They get the ball at the 20. They're ready to roll offensively. Great series last time by the Boyd defense.
And looking to roll that over. They'll need it if they want to keep this a 4-point deficit. Longview with it in an I formation, 1st and 10. Allen takes the snap, long roll out wide, gives it to Tatum. Tatum leaping, lost the football. Was he down first, though? Still waiting. There is a penalty marker at the 15.
Oh, they're saying they got back on it.
Christian Turner got in there and looked like jarred it free on the hit. See if the officials can sort this one out.
Hold it. Everyone on the offense.
They did. I think they did give it to Longview after the ball got knocked free. So that's either he was down, the ball carrier was down. They didn't address it. So I wonder if the ball was popped free. But a 5-10-yard penalty, 5-yard penalty here.
The head linesman on the other side motioned that the ball was down. He pointed to the ground, which doesn't mean a recovery. It means that the runner was down. So that's why he didn't address it. The officials on the field said it wasn't a fumble.
So that is an offensive holding penalty that moves Longview back 10 more yards deeper in their own end. They'll have it right on the 10-yard line. 1st down and 20 with the clock rolling, over 5 minutes to go in the first half. Allen in the pocket. Man to his left. Takes the snap, looking for a quick throw. Gets it out wide to Hale. Jalen Hale with the catch and forced out of bounds. And the defender, again, Christian Turner, the junior defensive back, has about 10 yards to result. 2nd down coming up.
And if you had Jalen Hale outside and the corner has to back up as deep as he is, I don't know why you don't throw that once every 3 plays.
Yeah. You got to respect him deep, of course, so you give up the yards up front, and the result is a 10-yard gain.
Exactly.
2nd down and 10 as Hale was able to get out of bounds and stop the clock. Allen gives it up the middle. Lobos look to keep it on the ground, but the Broncos pretty taut up at the line of scrimmage. And tackle made by Braden Engwer that got in there, the senior backer.
Yeah, Inworth, also Creed Fisher also in on that play.
That sets up a 3rd down and long.
My fault. It's Creed Butler. Creed Fisher is a singer. I don't know how that popped into my head.
Creed Butler, the senior linebacker that wears the number 0, got in there and made the stop. 3rd down and 8.
Got to have a lot of confidence to go number 0.
Got in there and looked like it. Allen in the pocket, looking to throw. Wants to go deep over the middle, instead tucks it. Running with a lot of room for the far 30 and to the 35, and finally out of bounds at about the 37. On a 3rd and 8, he didn't like his options deep, tucked it himself, and just took the 1st down.
Well, Boyd dropped 8 and just rushed 3. Tried to get underneath those out routes that we talked about and also have bodies back deep. And he noticed it. The rushers were pushed by. Pulls the ball down, an easy jog for a 1st down.
So Lobos offense that wants to make their bread and butter on the ground, but they've cashed in for 137 yards through the air and over 200 yards of total offense in the first half. Allen takes his snap, gives it right up the middle, and the ball carried straight into the line. Not a lot going on there, as stopped right at the line of scrimmage at about the 37. 25, Andrew Dawson, the senior backer, got in there, along with Haider El Nasri. Whistles down on the field at the end of the play, and there was a penalty flag down. That's at about the 37-yard line on the far sideline. Looks like this might go on the defense.
Dead ball, personal foul, number 20. 15 yards from the end of the run. 1st down.
It's have it on Brett Burton. That's active defensively, but unfortunately a personal foul and a free big chunk of yards for the 2nd penalty tonight on Boyd. They have not allowed a lot of penalty yardage, but that one's a costly one. Gets it past midfield.
Well, and it's a dead ball foul, so it's either something was done or something was said after the play was over to cost you 15.
Now into Broncos territory at the 49-yard line. Allen with 2 backs. And one in motion to the near sideline. Ball not snapped, and everybody moving down on the field. It looks like Longview was not on the same page there.
No, center didn't get the ball snapped. Wide receiver's 10 yards downfield. The man in motion was 5 yards.
Prior to the snap, we had a false start on the offense.
Teams
5-yard penalty. First down.
Teams trading penalties here deep, under 5 minutes to go in the first half, and not the time that you want to be giving up for yards.
Well, and let's remember, it's first ball game of the year. You know, you scrimmaged, but it's not the same, right?
No.
It's not the band in the stands, mom and dad, not there dressed up in green and gold or red and white and blue. So it's different.
Allen's got it with the tall receiver, looks to throw over top and it's Hale with the catch past the 50, makes a defender miss and steps out of bounds after shedding a tackle. Tackle made by Jonathan Patterson up tall. That was 8 on 8 there with Hale gaining about 6. 2nd and 4 coming up, 3:14 to go.
It's just a little 4-yard, 5-yard stop route and then let him do his thing, right? And it's awful tough to stop unless you put somebody over there in his lap and then somebody deep, and now you've outnumbered yourself in the box.
Now he's tight on the near hash marks. Allen looks to give it and does just that up the middle. The Broncos stiffening the pressure at the line of scrimmage. And again, a Lobos ball carrier going backwards as Taylor Tatum rejected up front. And Andrew Dawson, the senior, met him early at the door.
Yeah, Andrew Dawson has got to be the bell cow for this defense this year. He's got to be the Ethan Wislowski of last year's team. And right there, shed a block, stepped up inside, made the play.
So the officials were blowing the clock. They were waving their hands to try and stop the clock. And now the clock is rolling, under 3 minutes to go. 3rd down and 3 coming up. Longview failed to convert on their recent 3rd down, a drive ago. Allen looks to throw, gets rid of it quickly, and the catch is made on the near sideline. Hauled in by DeKalen Reese. And he was tackled by the near defensive back, Jake Park, the senior, but 1st down and 10 again for Longview.
Again, they just run the short stop route, but away from Jalen Hale now. Run it to the other wide receiver.
Longview moving the chains, making it 1st down and 10 with 2:30 to go and plenty of time. And more time for Boyd's defense out on the field. Whistles coming on the near side. And it looks like Coach Foster wants to talk things over. 2:25 to go before halftime. Lobos in front of Broncos, 14-10 our score from MISD Stadium.
Greatness. It's not born of coincidence. It's not a product of luck. It's forged through dedication, drills, and the acquisition of new skills. Wanting won't get you there, but sweat equity just might.
The team here at Pebble Path Pediatric Dentistry and Orthodontics is rooting for our 3 fabulous McKinney teams during this high school football season. Count on us for all of your kids' dental needs. And it's a great time to start with braces. Online at PebblePathDDS.com.
McKinney ISD football continues on 97.5 KLAK.
Back after Longview moving the chains, it's 1st down and 10 for the Lobos at the Broncos 34-yard line, with 2:25 to go in the first half. Chris Jarrett, Will Hodges, Kevin McPherson, your crew on 97.5 KLAK. Coach, the Lobos driving. Boyd's got to stiffen up on defense. We've seen it tonight, but time to do it again.
Yeah, got to make a play. Got to get them off the field or force a field goal attempt. Don't want to give up 7 right here before the half. So, got the opportunity in front of them. I wouldn't be surprised to see the Broncos defenses dial up some stunts right here, bring some extra people, try to make something happen, put them in long yard situations, or try to create a turnover.
Boyd's defensively done the job of slowing Longview down. This is the 8th play of the drive coming up. That's only got them 46 yards and 3:05 off the clock. Here's 1st and 10. Allen gets the ball on the snap, looking to throw, sets up, passes complete on the far sideline, and ball carried and dropped at about the 20. And so just like that, a pitch and catch as Allen able to find DeKalen Reese, the junior wideout. 1st and 10.
And something else off that play, the near side tight end just released upfield on a seam route, and no Bronco went with him at all. Everybody rolled the way the quarterback rolled. So that's something to look for coming back.
Allen with it, with a tailback next to him is Robinson. Passes again tall, catch is made, but held in bounds for a short gain. About 3 yards, makes it second down coming up.
Nice job by Patterson. Comes up and makes the play. Doesn't let him get out of bounds and stop the clock or break the tackle and get upfield.
Patterson getting Dartavian Wright, the senior wideout, at 6'3", 185. Some long frames for the Lobos out there, and they've been doing it through the air in the first half. 174 yards passing, but they keep it on the ground here. Shifty up front, but on the carry on 2nd and 6. Stopped pretty early. And Hudson Piner, the senior backer, got in there to make the stop. Third down coming up.
Yeah, we called Piner's name several times tonight,
We
coming
have.
up and making plays. He's been aggressive, had a chance to wrap people up.
Longview's done it through the air, and Boyd has been tight and pretty strict on the ground game on this drive. Under a minute to go in the first half. Longview leading at 14-10 with 55 seconds left. Allen over center, takes the snap, gives it up the middle. Tatum right through the box and gets the first down. Broncos able to tackle him shy of the goal line, right at the 5-yard line. And that time it was Tatum with a full head of steam right through the middle.
That's when you have confidence in your offensive line. Is say, we're going under a minute left, and we're going to line up in the eye and run the lead right at you and pick up 6 or 7 and pick up a first.
And so now again, Allen with Tatum deep. Takes the snap, looks to give. Tatum with it through the hole into the end zone. Lobos cashing it in for another touchdown. 37 seconds left to go in the first half. And they're able to strike from 3 yards out on the ground. This time it's Taylor Tatum finding pay dirt.
Big guys up front were dominant on those last 2 plays. Really pushed the Bronco defense around a little bit, gave the running back easy path to the end zone.
A long drive, as we've talked about Boyd defensively. That defense is getting work tonight as the snap is down, kick is up, and kick is through the uprights. 21-10, Longview in front of Boyd with 37 seconds left to go in the first half. Stepping aside to end the first half on 97.5 KLAK.
Life is yours to spend. Spend it making more money. Spend it making more memories. Spend it learning a new skill. Spend it teaching an old trick. Spend it career climbing. Spend it mountain climbing. First United Bank. Spend life wisely.
Back to McKinney ISD football, live on 97.5 KLAK.
Under a minute to go before the end of the first half between Longview and McKinney Boyd at MISD Stadium. Chris Jarrett, Will Hodges, Kevin McPherson with you before halftime. We do have our halftime coming up, a senior spotlight where we were able to sit down with a senior backer, and we see him on offense as well. Andrew Dawson going to join us at half for the Grayson College senior spotlight. But first, Coach, Broncos maybe with one more shot to try and find the end zone or just keep it on the ground and get to the locker room.
I think that'll depend on what kind of field position they get after this kickoff. They don't get great field position. I think they'll run a play and get in and regroup at halftime.
Kick is off and away, and it's tight on the near sideline in between the hash marks and the sideline. Kick return is on, and it's past the 20, past the 25. Look out, King with it and knocked out of bounds at the 35 with 31 seconds to go before the end of the first half. It's a big return of about 25 yards that gets him close to midfield.
That's a really nice execution. King does a good job. There's an opportunity for a tackle about the 25. He tried to tackle him up high. He was able to shake his shoulders and get rid of him, pick it all up, pick it up to the 35. Wouldn't be surprised to see him try to something here. They got a Hail Mary formation, 3 wide receivers to the far side of the field.
And so now Shackleton and the Broncos offense at the 35. Looking to go to work, but with only 31 seconds to work with. Long look on the near sideline. Jeremy Turner, the new offensive coordinator after Daniel Foster, given the head coach spot at McKinney Boyd. Shackleton will give it. King with it, bouncing past the 35 and brought down quickly shy of the 40. Tackle made by Tadarian Boone, the senior back. 20 seconds to go and the clock rolling here before the end of the first half.
just a little inside zone play that time. Keep it on the ground.
Less than 10 seconds. Shackleton with it, and it doesn't look like Boyd wants to take another snap, and they won't. So the final seconds tick away. 21-10, our halftime score. Coach, as the team's going to the locker room, we did see some good things out of the gate, but Longview passing the ball, and it's defensively for Boyd. It's been tough to try and move the ball down the field and finish drives in the first half.
Longview is as advertised for me. They're pretty good up front on both sides of the football, which allows their skill talent to be showcased. You know, I don't care how good your skill talent is if the quarterback's getting hit in the chin every time he's trying to throw it. And I don't care how good your skill talent is if there are people in the backfield. But up front, they're really good, and then they got all those skill dudes outside that really created a problem for you. I think Boyd's done some good things, and I think that's what Coach Foster, we're in week 1. When he goes in there and talks to his kids, and he'll talk to his coaches first, and he'll say, I believe he'll say, everything's positive right here. Everything's positive. When we talk to our kids, everything is positive. Well, here's what we got to do to get better. But, you know, try to bring them up. Don't say, we're not doing anything, right? So, I go back to Longview is as advertised.
Well, and it's gotten them an 11-point lead as we're just about set for our Barrows Pizza halftime show from MISD Stadium. After 2 quarters of play, it's Longview out in front of McKinney Boyd, 21-10 in week 1. Stepping aside for the halftime show on 97.5 KLAK. Come back with us and catch up with our senior Andrew Dawson for the Grayson College Senior Spotlight. At the half, Longview 21, Broncos 10 on 97.5 KLAK.
Shop Labor Day savings now at NFM. Thousands of styles are in stock and up to 60% off suggested retail. Find exactly what you're looking for, all backed by our low price guarantee. Add room for everyone with sectionals starting at $529 or a multi-use click-clack starting at $169. Plus, home office furniture starting at just $79 and holiday deals on appliances and electronics. Shop online or in-store with easy drive-through pickup and professional delivery available. Enjoy budget-friendly 30-month financing on furniture and flooring and 24-month financing on appliances and electronics when you use the NFM card. Make sure you stop by the store Saturday for our Forever Home Pet event with furry friends from Abandoned Pet Project. Plus, free crafts for Kids Crafter Day. More to love and more ways to save. All at NFM in Grandscape. Some exclusions apply. Minimum monthly payments required for financing. 18% APR. See store for details.
Life is an adventure, and it's time to raise anchor and embark on your voyage at Grayson College. Our success coaches are here to help you plot your course and navigate your path. As a Viking, you will receive all the tools necessary to conquer your goals. With ongoing enrollment, it's never too late. Set sail here at home with Grayson College. Visit grayson.edu to get started today.
Life is yours to spend. Spend it expanding your balance. Spend it expanding your mind. Spend it wondering what comes next. Spend it trusting that God has a plan. Spend it taking small steps in your own life. Spend it making a big impact on someone else's. First United Bank. Spend life wisely.
Back on 97.5 KLAK as we're at halftime between the Boyd Broncos and the Lobos of Longview High School. Time now for our senior spotlight presented by Grayson College. We have the chance to be joined by the senior linebacker coming back on this Broncos team and Andrew Dawson. Andrew, thanks for your time. And what was the summer like getting ready for this year?
No, man, thanks for having me. It's just been a grind all summer, you know. We wake up early, we come in, we put work in, we watch film. We've been getting ready all summer, man.
Foster mentioned that you were a guy that, the varsity level is not a new level to you. This has been something that you've been at for the last couple of years, but still responsibilities can change. What was the shift like going from a junior where you had a talented senior class, now you're in that senior role?
Man, I was fortunate enough to make varsity as a sophomore, and I got to look up to the guys that were ahead of me, like Mateo. And then as a junior, I got to learn from Ethan. I mean, he was a stud. He was a leader. But as a sophomore and junior, I put my best foot forward, but I wouldn't consider myself a leader at that point. Well, now as a senior, I have to step up. I have to be the leader. I'm the guy that people are looking to because of my experience that I have. And I'm hoping to be that guy for the guys below me, the guys that are younger than me.
Guys in the same class as you, who else do you think are in those leadership roles that you guys can rely on each other?
Well, on the offensive side of the ball, we got Ryan Shackleton. He's our quarterback. I mean, he's a rock, man. He's been the 3-year starter. He's been here. He's been a leader, I think, all 3 years, in my opinion. He's stepped up immediately. Joey Dixon, our center. That guy's an animal. He's an animal. And then on the defensive side of the ball, our 2 inside linebackers, Creed Butler and Hudson Piner, they're both stepped up big time for us as well. I mean, we have a lot of guys. Brett Burton too. He's also a 3-year guy. He'll be on both sides of the ball and making plays. But we got a lot of guys, I think, that have really stepped up for us.
You're going to see a lot of, and it sounds like you've been seeing some two-way time on both the offense and the defense. Would you have it any other way, or is it just keep me on the field as long as I can be?
No, I love it, man. It's so fun getting to tackle people and then getting to go run people over right after. I love it. I mean, it's a dream to be able to play both sides of the ball, and given the opportunity, I'm just glad I've been blessed. I'm just so blessed to be able to do this.
What got you started in football, Andrew? When did your path start, and were there any older influences in your life?
I have my older brother. He's in college now. He played high school ball. He didn't play in college, but he played high school ball. And I watched him play growing up. My dad's a big football guy. Family's big football family. I started playing flag football when I was 3 or 4, tackle in kindergarten. I played up because nobody my age was playing tackle at the time. But I mean, I've loved this sport my whole life. I've played it my whole life. It's been my life. I mean, I love it. I love the game. If given the opportunity, I'd like to go play at the next level, but right now I'm just looking to make an impact on the high school Friday Night Lights.
We're talking with Andrew Dawson, the senior linebacker, for our senior spotlight presented by Grayson College. Andrew, looking at, now you mentioned it's been your life. Now you're a senior. What does it mean to be able to represent your community and be in that, that senior season?
It means a lot. I mean, it means the world to me because I grew up watching these other guys be in the role that I am today. And to be that guy now, I mean, it's so surreal to me. I'm so blessed, man.
Looking at the Longview game, you mentioned that it's just been getting ready for Longview. What are some things to expect, and what's been kind of the vibe and the buzz around practice the last couple of days?
I mean, they're a great team. They got athletes. They've got a unique offense and defensive scheme that'll be new, and I look forward to playing. They play hard downhill. They run an I formation, which not many teams do anymore. Good old 1972 football. Gotta love it. But at the end of the day, it's another game. Every team's the same. We gotta go into each game knowing what we have to do. We can't control them. We can only control ourselves. So we're just prepping as much as we can, watching film, putting a great game plan in. I trust our coaches. I trust the players. I trust the entire organization. And I look forward to it.
Being a student athlete, you're just that. You hear coaches say you're a student first, you're a student, then an athlete. What's that like, the balancing act to have to deal with, going to school and making it happen in the classroom on top of making it happen on the field?
It's difficult. It really is really difficult. You got to be committed and willing to lose some of your free time, put in time on the weekends, because if you don't, you're going to fall behind. You're not going to be able to catch up. So if you have aspirations outside of football, you always got to have a plan B. And that's where the academics come in. You got to put the grades before anything, because at the end of the day, very few people actually go on and play college sports, pro sports. You got to have a plan. And that's what I've been working on, and giving myself the opportunity to go do that. Because at the end of the day, most people are going to end up at a job outside of sports.
Future aspirations, that kind of carries us right to that next question. Yeah. Is there anything on the horizon that you're looking at that you'd like to do after football's done?
I'm looking to, like I said, unless an opportunity comes for me to go play some college ball somewhere, I'll most likely go to Texas A&M, Aggie family, gig 'em. That's where my brother's at. I'll go down there and most likely study business, hopefully get into the Mays school.
Just caught up with the senior linebacker, Andrew Dawson, for our senior spotlight presented by Grayson College. Andrew, thanks, man. Best of luck in the season, and best of luck on Friday night.
Thank you, man. Thanks for having me.
High school football. In McKinney, it's what we're all dedicated to, isn't it? It's a way of life here in Texas. Barrow's Pizza in McKinney wants to give a big shout out in support of our high school football games at the big stadium in McKinney. And we wish all the athletes and everyone it takes to make the games happen the very best of luck. Why not score the best pizza after the game tonight? Barrow's Pizza. Order online at barrowspizza.com.
At the Thomas Auto Group, we're giving you triple the options. We've made sure finding your perfect ride is easier than ever. We have over 800 vehicles to choose from, including hundreds and hundreds of pre-owned cars, trucks, and SUVs. Just browse our website to view the outstanding selection of new and pre-owned Ford, Subaru, and Volkswagen vehicles. Plus, all vehicles sold come with the Thomas Promise, the low price promise, and 100% customer satisfaction guaranteed. Visit us at thomasautogroup.com or in McKinney today.
Life is an adventure, and it's time to raise anchor and embark on your voyage at Grayson College. Our success coaches are here to help you plot your course and navigate your path. As a Viking, you will receive all the tools necessary to conquer your goals. With ongoing enrollment, it's never too late. Set sail here at home with Grayson College. Visit grayson.edu to get started today.
Greatness. It's not born of coincidence. It's not a product of luck. It's forged through dedication, drills, and the acquisition of new skills. Wanting won't get you there, but sweat equity just might.
The team here at Pebble Path Pediatric Dentistry and Orthodontics is rooting for our three fabulous McKinney teams during this high school football season. Count on us for all of your kids' dental needs, and it's a great time to start with braces. Online at pebblepathdds.com.
It's Augie Rodriguez with my team at Dodge City McKinney. Make this a summer event is in full swing. If we don't have the vehicle you're looking for in inventory, we'll order your new vehicle with no market adjustments, no hidden fees or extra equipment, or beat the heat and order from the comfort of your home at DodgeCityMcKinney.com. We guarantee the final price and guaranteed your trade value. Dodge City McKinney, home with a no-charge lifetime powertrain warranty. Dodge City McKinney, serving our community since 2005. And remember, shop local, shop family-owned, shop Dodge City McKinney, where our people make the difference.
Did you know that the new Inflation Reduction Act allows for thousands of dollars in federal tax credits for upgrading your AC system? Hi, this is Monica with Airview AC, and that's right. Manufacturers are redesigning equipment and instituting increases up to 15% effective January 1st. So now is the best time to upgrade your AC system. Save money and receive tax incentives. Call for your free estimate today. Airview AC, 972-658-1784, or visit airviewAC.com.
Life is yours to spend. Spend it making more money. Spend it making more memories. Spend it learning a new skill. Spend it teaching an old trick. Spend it career climbing. Spend it mountain climbing. First United Bank. Spend life wisely.
McKinney ISD football continues on 97.5 KLAK. High school football. In McKinney, it's what we're all dedicated to, isn't it? It's a way of life here in Texas. Barrow's Pizza in McKinney wants to give a big shout out in support of our high school football games at the big stadium in McKinney. And we wish all the athletes and everyone it takes to make the games happen the very best of luck. Why not score the best pizza after the game tonight? Barrow's Pizza. Order online at barrowspizza.com.
Life is yours to spend. Spend it expanding your balance. Spend it expanding your mind. Spend it wondering what comes next. Spend it trusting that God has a plan. Spend it taking small steps in your own life. Spend it making a big impact on someone else's. First United Bank. Spend life wisely.
When T-Mobile says we've got you covered, we mean it. We've invested billions to light up our best network yet, covering 99% of people in America, including right here in your neighborhood. And great coverage is just the beginning. Every year, families and small businesses can save up to $900 versus Verizon when they switch to T-Mobile. That's right, save up to $900 a year. And unlike those other guys, with our T-Mobile price lock, we guarantee we won't raise the price of your rate plan. With a network and savings like this, there's never been a better time to switch. Visit your local T-Mobile store and see if your family or small business can save up to $900 when you switch today.
Coverage not available in some areas. Savings with 4 lines based on analysis of Verizon and T-Mobile national postpaid smartphone bills. Rate plan features, taxes and fees, and savings may vary. Price lock for rate plan, talk, text, and data on qualifying lines. See details at T-Mobile.com.
Are you sick of going to the dental office? Do you feel like you're spending thousands and thousands of dollars year after year on crowns, root canals, extractions, fillings? Well, you know what? We really like to get all those bad teeth out and put good teeth in. Dental implants. In fact, you can even do it the same day under sedation. Take the bad teeth out that keep costing you more money and take care of yourself with a permanent dental solution. We take the bad teeth out, put the implants in, and either a denture on top or fixed teeth that don't have pain and can't get decay. If you're interested in this, just give us a call. This is Dr. Brady. My colleagues and I do this all the time, and we love mouths that are not in real good shape, and we bring them to ideal shape. Hey, give us a call soon, and we'd love to see you.
Call Lake Texoma Dental Care and Wellness Direct at 903-465-4055. That's 903-465-4055. Or you could visit them online at texomadentist.com. That's texomadentist.com. Visit them or give them a call today at 903-465-4055 or texomadentist.com.
I got a condo in Manhattan. Baby girl, what's happening? You and your invited, so gonna get to clapping. Go pop it for a plan, pop it for me. Turn around and drop it for a plan, drop it for me. I'll rent a beach house in Miami. Wake up with no jammies. Lobster tail for dinner. Julio served that scampi. You got it if you want it. Got it if you want it. Said you got it if you want it. Take my wallet if you want it now. Jump in the Cadillac. Girl, let's put some miles on it. Anything you want, just to put a smile on it. You deserve it, baby. You deserve it all. And I'm gonna give it to you. Gold jewelry shining so bright. Strawberry champagne on us. Lucky for you, that's what I like. That's what I like. Lucky for you, that's what I like. That's what I like. By the fire at night, silk sheets and diamonds, all white. Lucky for you, that's what I like. That's what I like. Lucky for you, that's what I like. That's what I like. I'm talking trips to Puerto Rico. Say the word and we go. You can be my flica, girl, I'll be a flico, mamacita. I would never make a promise that I can't keep. I promise that your smile ain't gonna never leave. Shopping sprees in Paris, everything 24 carats. Take a look in that mirror. Now tell me who's the fairest. Is it you? Is it you? Is it me? Is it me? Say it's us, and I'll agree, baby. Jump in the Cadillac. Girl, let's put some miles on it. Anything you want, just to put a smile on it. You deserve it, baby. You deserve it all. And I'm Lucky for you, that's what I like. That's what I like. By the fire at night, silk sheets and diamonds, all white. Lucky for you, that's what I like. That's what I like. Lucky for you, that's what I like. That's what I like. You say you want a good time, well here I am, baby. Here I am, baby. Talk to me, talk to me, tell me what's on your mind. What's on your mind? If you want it, girl, come and get it. All this is here for you. Tell me, baby, tell me, baby, what you tryna do? Strawberry shining bright, strawberry champagne on us. Lucky for you, that's what I like. That's what I like. Lucky for you, that's what I like. That's what I like. By the fire at night, silk sheets and diamonds, all white. Lucky for you, that's what I like. That's what I like. Lucky for you, that's what I like. That's what I like.
Fannin County's home for today's best music. 97.5 KLAK.
I had a bad week, spent the evening pretending it wasn't that deep. You could see in my eyes that it was taking over. I guess I was just blind and caught up in the moment. You know you take all of my stress right down, help me get it off my chest and out into the ether with the rest of this mess that just keeps us depressed. We forget that we're here right now, cause we're living life at a different pace, stuck in a constant race. Keep the pressure on, you're bound to break. Something's got to change. We should just be cancelling all our plans and not give a damn if we're missing out on what the people think is right. Seeing through a picture behind a screen and forget to be, lose the conversation for the message that you'll never read. I think maybe you and me, oh, we should head out to the place where the music plays, and then we'll go all night, two-stepping with a woman I love. All my troubles standing up, and when I'm in your eyes, electrified. We'll keep turning up and go all night. And we had dips and falls in our time, but we know what it means to be low then up, alone then love. And all we need is us to go all night, night. Two-stepping with a woman I love. Night, yeah. All we need is us. What do you reckon? Is it just me? Words are weapons and occasionally they cut deep. Crisis of confidence, it tends to come when I feel the dark and I open my heart. If you don't see it, you should trust me. I feel like I got nothing left right now, except this beauty in her dress right now. She got me feeling like the best, and the rest are just less than she needs. So we press play and step to the beat, cause we're living life at a different pace, stuck in a constant race. Keep the pressure on, you're bound to break. Something's got to change. We should just be cancelling all our plans and not give a damn. Head out to the place where it plays, and we'll go all night, two-stepping with a woman I love. All my troubles standing up, and when I'm in your eyes, electrified. We'll keep turning up and go all night. And we had dips and falls in our time, but we know what it means to be low then up, alone then love. And all we need is us to go all night, night. Two-stepping with a woman I love. Night, yeah. All we need is us to go all night, night, night. Two-stepping with a woman I love. Night, yeah. All we need is us to go all night.
Shop Labor Day savings now at NFM. Thousands of styles are in stock and up to 60% off suggested retail. Find exactly what you're looking for, all backed by our low price guarantee. Add room for everyone with sectionals starting at $529 or a multi-use click-clack starting at $169. Plus, home office furniture starting at just $79. And holiday deals on appliances and electronics. Shop online or in-store with easy drive-through pickup and professional delivery available. Enjoy budget-friendly 30-month financing on furniture and flooring and 24-month financing on appliances and electronics when you use the NFM card. Make sure you stop by the store Saturday for our Forever Home Pet event with furry friends from Abandoned Pet Project. Plus, free crafts for Kids Crafter Day. More to love and more ways to save. All at NFM in Grandscape. Some exclusions apply. Minimum monthly payments required for financing. 18% APR. See store for details.
At the Thomas Auto Group, we're giving you triple the options. We've made sure finding your perfect ride is easier than ever. We have over 800 vehicles to choose from, including hundreds and hundreds of pre-owned cars, trucks, and SUVs. Just browse our website to view the outstanding selection of new and pre-owned Ford, Subaru, and Volkswagen vehicles. Plus, all vehicles sold come with the Thomas Promise, the low price promise, and 100% customer satisfaction guaranteed. Visit us at thomasautogroup.com or in McKinney today.
Life is an adventure, and it's time to raise anchor and embark on your voyage at Grayson College. Our success coaches are here to help you plot your course and navigate your path. As a Viking, you will receive all the tools necessary to conquer your goals. With ongoing enrollment, it's never too late. Set sail here at home with Grayson College. Visit grayson.edu to get started today.
High school football. In McKinney, it's what we're all dedicated to, isn't it? It's a way of life here in Texas. Barrow's Pizza in McKinney wants to give a big shout out in support of our high school football games at the big stadium in McKinney. And we wish all the athletes and everyone it takes to make the games happen the very best of luck. Why not score the best pizza after the game tonight? Barrow's Pizza. Order online at barrowspizza.com.
Greatness. It's not born of coincidence. It's not a product of luck. It's forged through dedication, drills, and the acquisition of new skills. Wanting won't get you there, but sweat equity just might.
The team here at Pebble Path Pediatric Dentistry and Orthodontics is rooting for our 3 fabulous McKinney teams during this high school football season. Count on us for all of your kids' dental needs, and it's a great time to start with braces. Online at pebblepathdds.com.
High school football. In McKinney, it's what we're all dedicated to, isn't it? It's a way of life here in Texas. Barrow's Pizza in McKinney wants to give a big shout out in support of our high school football games at the big stadium in McKinney. And we wish all the athletes and everyone it takes to make the games happen the very best of luck. Why not score the best pizza after the game tonight? Barrow's Pizza. Order online at barrowspizza.com.
Life is yours to spend. Spend it making more money. Spend it making more memories. Spend it learning a new skill. Spend it teaching an old trick. Spend it career climbing. Spend it mountain climbing. First United Bank. Spend life wisely.
McKinney ISD football continues on 97.5 KLAK.
Well, we are back at half as it is thunderstorming at MISD Stadium, and they always say when it rains it pours. As the Broncos, they're going to start out kicking it off to Longview. Back after a long halftime break. We appreciate it as you've waited on, and the fans at MISD Stadium waiting on, ducking out rain that felt like it came out of nowhere tonight to start the second half.
Yeah, the good news is there's no lightning. The people in charge have lightning meters, and they also have apps on their phones that can detect lightning. So the action continues. The band kept playing.
Yeah, they did.
And now we're ready for kickoff. So no lightning, no danger to our student athletes or people in the stands.
Get this game right back going as it's kicked through the end zone by the Broncos. And so the Lobos will have it first down and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Now it's time to see how this rain is going to impact this ball game. It is really raining sideways and coming down hard. For the most part, everyone has left except the students, the players, and the cheerleaders on the sideline, and then, of course, our officiating crew, coaches, and guys on the field.
Well, you'll see people kind of reduce their passing attack when it's wet like this, throwing a wet football. And if you can run it on the ground, if you can make yardage, you generally do.
On the first play, nothing going on as there's a tackle up front. And Braden Engwer got in there, the senior linebacker that stopped him right at the front door, 2nd and 10.
Yeah, stunted off the wide side of the field, came right off the tackle's hip and made the play. They didn't have anybody for him, but a good defensive call by the Boyd staff.
And so that sets up, as we say, 2nd and 10, raining sideways at MISD Stadium. Give is up the middle, and a short carry, shy of the 30-yard line, and then maybe now yards after the 30 as the pile continues to get pushed. And the ball is finally settling with the cloud of dust settling at about the 32, 3rd down.
Avery Mullen, the nose for the Boyd Broncos, slipped a block and was in the backfield in position for the tackle, just couldn't bring him down. Ended up gaining about 5, 6 on the play and bringing up a 3rd and short for the Broncos.
And so the quarterback, Allen, under center. Allen with it, gives it off. Tatum leaping over a defender and shy, maybe right at the 40-yard line for a Lobos first down.
The offensive line for the Lobos is really impressing me tonight. They do a nice job of getting movement, getting Boyd's defenders back on their heels, and then continuing the movement, driving them downfield a little bit.
Continuing to move the ball down the field. 1st and 10, shy of the 50 at the Lobos 40-yard line. Longview leading it 21-10 and marching down the field on their first drive of the second half. Big wall right at the 45 and shy at the 44-yard line. And that time it was Hudson Piner. Boy, again, calling Piner's name as he lowered the pads on that hit coach.
Yeah, they ran a long trap, pulled the backside guard all the way to the defensive end and cut up underneath it. And Piner, as you mentioned, he called his name several times tonight, came up and formed tackle, really put him on his back.
It was quite the scene with the Broncos coming out of the sideline. They were jumping up and down, trying to get the fans going. For those that have stuck out for the rain, Allen gives it off, and a tackle right at the 45. And that time it was Creed Butler bringing down the ball carrier Elijah Johnson. And here's a big 3rd and 5.
Yeah, Creed is an inside backer, but he came off the edge. They aligned him outside the defensive end and stunted down, made the play. Once again, nobody for him. I see Boyd really going to some movement defensively. They don't feel like they can line up and just catch the offensive line of the Lobos.
Longview has been strong on 3rd down tonight. 6 for 7. The Broncos defense need a stop, and they flinch up front.
Long count and got him. That's a tough one. You're lined up right on the football. You go on movement, but you just get so
5-yard penalty.
You get so conditioned to going, and Longview's been going on the same count. So you go, they didn't snap the football. It's a free 5 yards.
Coach, we talked about in the first half, Longview possessing the ball on offense and working the Boyd defense. Time of possession in the first 2 quarters, Boyd with 9 minutes and Longview at 14:51 seconds, just shy of 15 minutes chunking away yards.
And that just wears your defense down amazingly.
The defense now facing another fresh shot. 1st and 10, Lobos fake give on a broken play and pressure in the backfield. Big time hit by Braden Engwer, who was practically untouched through the gap, and he brought down Allen for a big loss.
And Allen was susceptible because the running back went the wrong direction. Quarterback was trying to feed it to him or fake it and pull it, and he was not there.
And so a big question mark as Allen turned and looked, tried to trust his feet, and Engwer got to him and dropped him. 2nd down and long, 15 yards to gain as the line to gain in Boyd territory at about the 40. 8:15 to go in the 3rd quarter. Allen under center. Longview on their first drive. Play action, looking to throw. Dumped it off our sideline and caught. Little stutter step, but at the 35-yard line, DeKalen Reese hauled it in. And that's a long first down to move the chains.
Yeah, they do a nice job throwing into the flat. Reason the flat's wide open. The outside linebacker on that side came on the blitz. Nice job by the Longview tight end. Picked him up, stayed in, didn't go out in the route, picked up the blitzer, so plenty of room for the quarterback to just fit it in.
It's been a strong balance on this first drive, on the ground, in the air. And Longview now with a dry count. On 1st and 10, they're in Boyd territory at the 34. Everybody loading up the line. Allen gives it to his fullback, and a long pile push to about the 30. 2nd down coming up.
Yeah, you see the offensive guard for Longview, Jacoby Watts. He's still driving his man down about 7-8 yards from the line of scrimmage.
Total offense in that first half, Longview with 10 more plays offensively, 269 total yards of offense. And for Boyd, it was 21 plays for 144 yards. The lone touchdown that they had came on a dropped punt that was scooped up inside the red zone. They cashed it in 2 plays. Allen under center, drops back quickly, lets it fly, and incomplete. Maybe for the first time tonight, we see the rain affecting a play as that throw on the far sideline offline.
Yeah, it didn't come out of his hand. Didn't look like it came out of his hand correctly. It was spinning, just almost wobbling out to the outside.
Coach, another third down. This has been a spot that Boyd's been in all night, is trying to win third downs, and offensively Longview hasn't really had too much resistance.
Yeah, this is the third and really the outside edge of medium right here. They've gone to the split receiver many times in this situation.
Allen gives it up the middle. Tatum trying to bounce it outside. Slips off 2. Still on his feet. Spinning past the 20. Powering his way to the 15. And finally dragged down after a long carry. And safe to say, enough for a first down as the Lobos again on the ground move the chains.
Yeah, Taylor's a starter last year. So you know as a sophomore that he was really special. He's hard to bring down. He's tough. He keeps churning for extra yards. And then you combine that with what I consider a really good offensive line, that they're tough to stop.
That's Taylor Tatum at 6 foot and 200 pounds running the rock for Longview. It's a tough ground attack. And again, they load up the line of scrimmage. 1st and 10 at the 15. Keep is on the ground, and the ball carrier swarmed up front. That looked like it was Brandavion Steverson. It is a senior running back. 570, but he's got some zip. They got to him fast.
Yeah, the inside linebacker jumped up inside, read the play well, and put a hat right in his chest. Mates came to finish the job. 2nd and 9. Broncos have a chance right here to force them into a field goal. I think it's imperative that they do that.
It's been a lot of third downs for Longview on this opening drive of the second half. And they've been able to move the ball well, but whistles with the play clock going fast. And a timeout taken by Foster and the Broncos defense. So we'll step aside for it. 5:41 and a 2nd and 9 awaiting us on the other end of this timeout on 97.5 KLAK.
High school football. In McKinney, it's what we're all dedicated to, isn't it? It's a way of life here in Texas. Barrow's Pizza in McKinney wants to give a big shout out in support of our high school football games at the big stadium in McKinney. And we wish all the athletes and everyone it takes to make the games happen the very best of luck. Why not score the best pizza after the game tonight? Barrow's Pizza. Order online at barrowspizza.com. Back to McKinney ISD football, live on 97.5 KLAK.
Back to continue the third quarter, and a 2nd and 9 coming up with 5:41 to go. Chris Jarrett, Will Hodges, Kevin McPherson coach, an 11-play, 66-yard drive, and it's been over 6 minutes of offense for the Lobos.
Well, textbook is how you describe it. The success that they're having. You know, they needed to throw it. They left a tight end in and put a wide receiver and a back out in the flat. And Boyd was not able to cover them both. Thrown this little stop route, but most of the time it's been foot-to-foot line up with double tight ends or a tight end and a wing and just muscle your way through, and that's what they've been able to accomplish. This is huge for the Broncos to force this field goal.
And just for the defense, too, who's been on the field, they'd love to pay it off with a stop. 2nd and 9 at the 14. Allen takes a snap, designed rollout near side, and throws the ball on the near sideline, and it's caught. And again, it's Jalen Hale, as we have not seen him too much in the second half, but boy, has he been active tonight.
Well, and what they did to get Jalen Hale open is take another wide receiver and run him deeper so that the safety help was going there with the corner, so they dump it down to Hale, and he's got an outside linebacker to deal with it. That's all. Well-designed play.
Hale with 6 catches for 127 yards.
Yikes.
And a pair of touchdowns tonight. Also another one in there. They do stop him, though, shy of a first down. It's 3rd and 6. Allen looks to throw, gets rid of it quickly, unloads to the far sideline, and a late flag coming out on the far sideline. It looked like there was a closer official that was watching it tighter, and he kept his hands on his hips the whole time, but a flag came out from a further official.
Coach Foster's claiming it's uncatchable, and the far sideline coach says, or far sideline official says, it's not pass interference, it's holding.
Defense, number 11. Penalty result. Penalty will be first down.
That's tough.
So that's the official's rationale. It doesn't matter if it's catchable or not. If you're holding, it's a tough break for the Broncos. I thought they did a nice job of covering that. He went to the secondary receiver, not Hale.
So Longview's got it 1st and goal from the 5. They load up the line with Allen over center, takes a snap, gives it, Tatum, patient, and bounces into the end zone. The ball came loose. Do the Broncos have it? Was it out in time before he crossed the goal line? Officials are saying that, they're meeting right now. Let's see how this stands.
Burton came out with it, with the football.
That ball was certainly loose. There's no question about it, but they're wondering if Tatum was across the plane of the end zone before the ball was coughed free. 7 officials, and they all meet together, and now they're calling the Lobos back to say it's got to take some time to talk about this.
Here comes the white hat.
The ball was in possession of the ball carrier when he crossed the goal line. The ball was lost after that. Result of the play, touchdown.
Boy, tough break. And you got it right there from the white hat that Tatum was in. And so Longview, on their opening drive, they march right down the field, and it ends with a touchdown.
You know, from our vantage point, I can't tell you if that's a good call or a bad call. As the body's right there, the ball definitely came out. Can't tell you if it's kind of like the weather we got. When it rains, it pours. Right for the Broncos, it didn't. Made something happen right there after that long drive and didn't get rewarded for it.
Snap is down, kicks up, and kick is good with 4:50 to go in the 3rd quarter. Longview, a long drive, but they cash in on the ground. 28-11, 28-10 should be over Boyd, as we're back after this with less than 5 minutes to go in the 3rd quarter. We clear? We're connected.
Greatness. It's not born of coincidence. It's not a product of luck. It's forged through dedication, drills, and the acquisition of new skills. Wanting won't get you there, but sweat equity just might.
The team here at Pebble Path Pediatric Dentistry and Orthodontics is rooting for our 3 fabulous McKinney teams during this high school football season. Count on us for all of your kids' dental needs, and it's a great time to start with braces. Online at pebblepathdds.com.
Well, the Lobos, patient and on the ground, but they got it done and found the end zone. A 13-play drive. They had a 12-play drive earlier tonight. That time it took 7-10 off the clock, and it ends with a Tatum 5-yard score.
Just what the doctor drew up, ordered for the Longview offense. The rain, well, we'll just hammer it down the field.
Kick is on the near sideline and caught inside the 10, and a return. Looks like Bronco Joel Hatton has it, trying to fight for the far sideline, looking for some room. Finally spun free, and that ball came out, but it was out of bounds.
Yeah, since the tackle went all the way past the player's box, 5 or 6 yards outside of bounds, out of bounds. Kind of surprised that they didn't throw a rag on that.
And so the rain again. Maybe that just looked like it was a strip tackle right on that sideline. But that'll set up Boyd. 1st and 10 past the 20 at their own 21. 4:41 to go, 3rd quarter.
Running sideways against the Longview Lobo defense is not advisable.
It's been a long time on the sideline for Shackleton and this Broncos offense. They ended the half with a running play to kill the clock. Shackleton on the first play, stepping up through the pressure, hit from behind and goes down. A short gain, though, but looking for his receivers, couldn't find anyone. And the tackle was made right there by Zarius Shepard, the junior.
Yeah, and that's a coverage situation. Shackleton did not have any place to go with the football. He stepped up under pressure from the outside, avoided another rusher, but the backside defense or frontside defensive end was able to make the play.
2nd down and 8 after Shackleton on his own feet gains 2. He gives it to Sign. King with it and spun down behind the 20. And another tackle, but this time it's Omarion Watkins, the senior, getting in there to cause a stop and a long 3rd down.
Tried to run wide. Nose guard didn't allow the center to get across his face. He just played down the line of scrimmage and made the play in the backfield for 2 or 3 yard loss.
On the ground tonight, Boyd with 29 rushing yards. Through the air, they've got a $113. But it looks like the rain might be lightening up, but it looks like the rain is dictating the Broncos to keep it on the ground. Here's 3rd down and 12. Shackleton with 3 out near sideline, and King to his left, looks to throw, steps up, again pressure, rolling near sideline, wants to throw it, but keeps it to the 25, and the shoulder lowered right at the sideline. He's hit hard out of bounds, and it's going to bring up a 4th down to Darian Boone. The defensive back got in there.
Yeah, he's plays a little nickel. Halftime he's linebacker, halftime he's in the secondary, and they can run defensively. They're making plays every time you turn around.
And even Shackleton trying to roll out. Couldn't find any space on the near sideline, so it's 4th down and 6 yards coming up. Looking to punt this away with 3:16 and the clock stopped on 4th down and 6 from their own 25. Punt just gets off as it breaks midfield, deep past the 40 in Longview territory, and returned past midfield, and finally stepping out of bounds, the return man, Jacavon Curry. A long punt as Jordan Price just got it away. 1st down and 10 Lobos right at midfield with 3:04 to go, 3rd quarter.
Yeah, that's Jacavon Curry's defensive back by trade, and instead of having Hale return punts, who's an otherworldly talent, you just have a guy that can go out and make different people miss and pick up about 15, 18 yards on a return, set you up on the Broncos side of the field.
Some out-of-town 5-6-8 team scores. St. John Bosco 38-7 over Allen.
Wow.
That was in the second half.
Wow.
How about that? 1st and 10. Lobos right up the middle, hard hit, but staying on his feet is Elijah Johnson, the ball carrier. He was met by Creed Butler, got in there, and Braden Engwer got in there. Seeing the Broncos match contact hard tonight, Coach, but I mean, you've been impressed, and we've been impressed by, as Robinson limping off, reaching for that left hamstring, or right hamstring. Boy, that's not good.
What I'm so impressed with is they established a new line of scrimmage about 3 yards down the field.
Yeah, those backers hit hard for Boyd, at least in week 1, against a good ground attack in Longview. Allen fakes a give, dumps it off, screen on the far side as Tatum slipping past the defender and gets back to the 40, gets across the 40, and might be just shy of a 1st down. It's 3rd and 1 coming up for Longview.
That's a great play by Hudson Piner, the linebacker, jumping over offensive linemen and going and making the play.
It looks like that's Braden Engwer down. With the helmets, the numbers on the helmet, that's 6 in red, and so we've got an injury with 2:10 to go in the 3rd quarter. We'll step aside from MISD Stadium. Longview driving in front 28-10 in the 3rd quarter on 97.5 KLAK.
At the Thomas Auto Group, we're giving you triple the options. We've made sure finding your perfect ride is easier than ever. We have over 800 vehicles to choose from, including hundreds and hundreds of pre-owned cars, trucks, and SUVs. Just browse our website to view the outstanding selection of new and pre-owned Ford, Subaru, and Volkswagen vehicles. Plus, all vehicles sold come with the Thomas Promise, the low price promise, and 100% customer satisfaction guaranteed. Visit us at thomasautogroup.com or in McKinney today.
McKinney ISD football continues on 97.5 KLAK.
Braden Engwer getting helped back up to his feet with 2:10 to go in the third quarter. Longview in front of McKinney Boyd, 28-10 our score deep in the third quarter. And, Coach, you're hoping that this is a cramp, but Engwer cannot put pressure on that left foot.
And I don't know that that's a cramp. Usually you can walk it off after you've been stretched out, but he's not able to. So hopefully it's not an injury, but certainly had a hard time getting any weight on that left leg.
He wants to walk by himself, so he's making his way to the near sideline. As Longview has it, 3rd down and 1. Boy, have they marched the field tonight. And if they've won elsewhere on the scoreboard, they're winning on 3rd downs, and it's showing. The Lobos with 19 conversions to get 19 first downs, and Boyd with 5 tonight.
And the longer this game goes, the more impressed I am by the Lobos, because Boyd's almost always a really good defensive team. And good news is the linebacker's jogging off the field now, and looks that it appears that he does not have a serious injury.
So 3rd down and 1 coming up as Engwer checking out, and Greg Mack is listed behind him, so it should be Mack into the ball game. Longview breaking the huddle from the far sideline, and they're set to go on 3rd and 1. Line to gain is the 36. Can the Boyd defense come up with a stop, trailing by 18 in the second quarter?
You're going to see a blitz here out of the Broncos to try to make something happen.
Allen gives it up the middle. Wall is met, but lunging to the 35 and spinning past to the 34. Tackle made up front by Evan Yupna, senior backer. Longview cashes in on another 3rd down. It's now 1st and 10. They move the chains, and they mark it at the 34-yard line.
Just getting a lot of movement up front. The line of scrimmage is moving. It's awful hard to, and they're really close on their alignment. They're basically foot to foot, maybe a 6-inch, 8-inch split.
They give it and keep it on the ground. Carried up to about the 30 before being met. Tackle made again by Butler getting in there, and Cole Smith giving him some help. So a solid chunk on 1st down. Make it 2nd and 6 coming up for the Lobos with $1:10 to go in the 3rd quarter.
What Longview does really well up front is they get the defensive tackle moving back on the double team, and then they are able to slide off on the linebacker, get that second level block, which really creates the big plays.
Another pass formation with 2 split out on each side as Allen dropping back, looks to throw. Pressure behind him, but he gets rid of it. Throwing it up to Hale to the end zone, and he dropped it. Boy, he broke free from his defender and was pacing into the end zone and was looking for the catch. Had it in his gloves, and it popped in and out. Might have been slippery conditions for him, and that's what could have been his 3rd touchdown. He dropped it. Here's 3rd down.
And Coach Foster's given the lineman quite a bit of information about, he thought that was the offensive pass interference, and I did too. That's where he made his break. Yeah. He chopped his feet, got a little push off there, and went inside.
Another pass look from Longview on 3rd down and 6. Allen quickly gets rid of it and hit hard at the 25. And it's going to be, well, the near side official marks it right on the nose at the 25-yard line. And we'll see if they give him a fresh shot. That is really close. It'll otherwise be 4th down in a matter of inches.
I think it's short.
I think it is too. The chains haven't moved.
And Longview is not kicking a field goal.
No. McKinney getting some big bodies up front. They put, boy, count them, how many guys stacking the line of scrimmage. Allen now coming up, looking back. 10 seconds down, and the play clock hasn't even started yet for this 4th down and 1.
They're going to wait till the 4th quarter.
Final seconds ticking away, and that's exactly what Longview chooses to do. They carry a 28-10 lead into the 4th quarter. Boyd facing a 4th and 1, and their defense trying to come up with a stop. We'll come back to start the 4th quarter from MISD Stadium after this on 97.5 KLAK.
Greatness. It's not born of coincidence. It's not a product of luck. It's forged through dedication, drills, and the acquisition of new skills. Wanting won't get you there, but sweat equity just might.
The team here at Pebble Path Pediatric Dentistry and Orthodontics is rooting for our 3 fabulous McKinney teams during this high school football season. Count on us for all of your kids' dental needs. And it's a great time to start with braces. Online at pebblepathdds.com.
Life is yours to spend. Spend it expanding your balance. Spend it expanding your mind. Spend it wondering what comes next. Spend it trusting that God has a plan. Spend it taking small steps in your own life. Spend it making a big impact on someone else's. First United Bank. Spend life wisely.
The fourth quarter has arrived, so let's get back to McKinney ISD football on 97.5 KLAK.
4th and 1, and the Lobos throw it to the end zone. It's incomplete, and a flag coming out at the 25 as we're back quickly on 97.5 KLAK, and another Bronco down. Teams haven't moved. Chains haven't moved. There's a penalty marker down right inside at the line of scrimmage, and the officials now wanting to call a timeout.
And it was late.
What a start to the fourth quarter.
The penalty flag was late coming out after the ball was incomplete. Now, whether they had an offensive lineman that late went downfield or whether there was a cheap shot involved, who knows at this point.
Your fear is injuries in week 1, but of course with just bodies that simply aren't at the point for the season, it starts and you get contact right away.
Well, I always say this, that football's a game of attrition, right? You know you're going to have injuries. People get hurt. But really the thing you worry about is, same thing I said to the North head coach today when I was coming in the building. He was here, and I said, because they will play Longview, they're in their district, so he wanted a chance to see him. And I said, any injuries from last night? He said, no, it came out completely healthy. So you got to win, and you were healthy. So that's as much as you can ask for in week 1.
2 big blessings. Well, you get a win to set the tone, and then able to keep a clean roster rolling into next week. So there is an injury for Boyd. That's what brings us to a stoppage. And the seniors.
After the play,
we've got the official.
We had a personal foul on Boyd.
Ouch.
They marked half the distance from the 25. Boys football, first down.
Coach, that stuff that came after the play, you got the stop.
Dead ball foul, so you did get the stop, and that's why I thought it was important that we saw the flag after the ball had fallen incomplete.
Avery Mullins, the senior defensive back, is getting helped off. He's getting help from each side, but he's walking, so at least some pressure on each foot, making his way off. But checking out of the ball game, and that Boyd defense staying on the field. Longview, their biggest threat offensively, if you look away from the playmakers, it's their tendencies to just chunk away drives and keep moving the chains.
I mean, 4th and 1 and you throw the fade. I just don't understand it when you're chewing up 8 yards at a clip.
So after the play moved the yardage back for Boyd to take over. Since it came after the play, you got the stop, but it moves you deeper in your own end. Now the whistles are blowing.
They're saying they didn't move the football far enough. I believe. No, they're gonna go ahead and play it.
I think maybe just making sure they're on the same page. Nothing changed, and so now they're ready to roll. So 1st and 10 for the Broncos, trailing 28-10. Freshly underway in the fourth quarter. 5 seconds gone by. Shackleton takes the snap, looks to give it, and King exploding for space up the middle. He was wrapped up and dropped shy of the 20, a gain of about 4, second down.
Yeah, the nose guard came completely free again in the backfield, but King avoided him, had a little room because of that, picked up a nice chunk on first down, gives them a two-way go here on 2nd and 6. You can throw it or feel good running the football.
Tackle made by Brendan Reese. The sophomore backer for Longview got in there. 2nd down and 6, 11:20 to go in the ball game. Shackleton giving it to King again, looking to follow his blockers past the 20, and maybe another short gain. It's going to be shy of the line to gain at the 25. 3rd down coming up.
Boyd's version of the sweep, and they had a offensive lineman and the H-back out in front of him, and it looked like there's a big play or 8, 10, 12 yards, and he only made 3 because Longview just runs so well to the football.
Short gain coming up as it's 3rd down and 3 with under 11 to go in the fourth quarter. Shackleton with 3 receivers split out on the near sideline, and King, his tailback behind him in the backfield. An option out to his left, stacked up on the line. 3rd and 3. Takes a snap, gives it to King. Nope, he keeps it. Quarterback rolling out to the near sideline. Shackleton gets the first down as a flag coming in from the back official. The Broncos move the chains for now, but let's see what this flag is.
I think it's going to be a hold on the wide receiver. Official kind of waddles up to the white hat to give him the information.
That was Peter Brojas. That was the far wideout that looked like he was set pretty well and was in between the shoulder pads, but that was a late look. It could have been something before that drew the flag, before the end of the play.
Holding on number 9 on the defense.
Wow.
15-yard penalty. First down.
Interesting. You wonder if Brojas was trying to shake free.
I don't think he was.
Well, and Shackleton had it.
You know what that's called? That's called a makeup call, because the same official that did not call the offensive interference that Coach Foster was incensed about, and so he gave him a flag. Now, call me a cynic, if you will.
I'm following you. Broncos have it at their own 40. And now whistles.
Coach Kings wants to know why his DB is getting called for defensive holding when he's trying to get off the block and make the play. That's why the clock has stopped here. Whitehead has gone over to explain.
Mark Gambrell is our head linesman. Longview capitalizing on the stoppage. They're getting some personnel switches as it was 1st down and 10 at the Boyd 40-yard line with 10:28 to go in the fourth quarter. 28-10, Lobos in front.
Coach King should not be too upset. They've had the beneficiary of a couple of calls tonight, as well as the touchdown that was, maybe not fumble touchdown. What was it? So I think the breaks have evened out so far in this ball game.
Long break for Boyd as they're waiting. And now the officials getting set. Start that clock. 10:27, but Boyd with clock against them. Trailing by 18. Shackleton in the pocket as the DBs back off on the snap. He looks to throw. He's got Brojas over the middle, but well covered, rolling out to the near sideline. Lets it fly and through the hands of Jonathan Patterson, his intended receiver. Boy, that's tough. A great rollout, and that ball was put in a great spot, but unfortunately maybe the ball a little slippery on that pass attempt.
Well, and I think even Jonathan Patterson will say, I got to catch that ball. Yeah. But that's an outstanding play by Shackleton. He avoids the pressure. He rolls to his right. It looked like he was going to run it. Right before he gets to the sideline, he finds Patterson, delivers the football on time and where he can catch it.
Hoping that's a catch later in the season. Boyd with back-to-back playoff appearances. Trying to make it 3 in a row. They call Patterson off of the line, the far receiver. Shackleton gives it. King with it. Bouncing through a hole, and he's hit hard past the 40. Longview with a lot of pressure up front. 2 yards for King, the ball carrier, as he was hit hard by Caden Brooks. 2nd down.
Well, I think it just shows you Shackleton's mastery of the offense. He knows that his wide receiver has to be off the ball on that formation. He motions him before he snaps it so they don't get a penalty for tuning people in the back on the line of scrimmage.
And so 3rd down and 9 yards to go. 9:40 to go in the fourth. Shackleton with it. Drops back, looks to throw it out wide and incomplete. Had Caleb Hensley and let go of it, but now 4th down and 9 upcoming.
Yeah, made the throw a little bit before the wide receiver made his break. The ball sailed right over his head. So you don't know if Shackleton went with it a little early or if the wide receiver didn't snap his head around fast enough to make the catch.
What differences you have in head coaches with Daniel Foster, the first-year head coach at a program like McKinney Boyd trying to repeat success, and then a guy like John King on the far sideline with Longview. 4th and 9 as the Broncos look to boot it away. Punts off, and it's a good one. Fair catch called, shy of the 25, and tripped up at about the 27. That's where Longview will have it, first down and 10.
Boyd Punter's done a nice job tonight.
You got to, at times, just flip the ends of the planes of the field.
Exactly.
That's a long boot and high enough, too, Coach, to give his defense, well, I guess offense turned to defense to get there.
Forced the fair catch, and we had the Boyd touchdown was a result of a long punt, high punt, that Boyd coverage team was right in the receiver's face that forced the muff.
I mean, you've got a lot of talented, skilled guys for Longview. You'll take no big punt returns, no big kick returns. I mean, you got to take special teams wins.
Sure.
So Allen with it, past the 27, shy of the 30. Under center, gives it up the middle, and hit hard. Taylor Tatum was trying to shake free to the line of scrimmage, and he got met real early. Did fight for a yard, second down and 9 coming up.
Avery Mullen, the nose, came off the block that time and made a really nice play.
Tatum's done a great job of being able to slip off what looks like the first point of contact. That's hard to miss right there. He got met quickly. Second and 9 with under 9 to go in the fourth quarter and a 28-10 Broncos lead.
Longview taking plenty of time. They don't go fast. That's not their deal. They're not out there to dazzle you with how many snaps they can get in a possession.
Second and 9, Allen will pull it. Quarterback keeper past the 30, past the 40, lowers the shoulder, and he's hit hard, but pops right back up. Defender Cole Smith came in from the secondary and got him on a bounce off of a tackle and hit him for a second time. Made that hit look a little harder maybe than it felt as Allen popped right back up with a first down.
Park caught him low, and your guy caught him high, spun that quarterback around. I was just thinking, I don't know if you want him carrying a football in the 28-10 game in the fourth quarter.
Or take the yards and go down.
Right.
First and 10 with 8:15 to go, and a pitch out to Tatum. Following blockers through the hole and past the midfield marker. All alone in a foot race on the far sideline and into the end zone for a Longview touchdown. Taylor Tatum, house call, 58 yards on a pitch play.
It's just a sweep. Longview's version, how they run the sweep, executed extremely well, and he gets into open space, and there's no catching him. He's a special player as well. You'll see him playing on on Saturday afternoons in a couple of years, since he's just a junior.
Just a junior, man. That's a lot of talent, as that was a foot race. For a guy that's got the size he's got, he can certainly explode when he finds a soft spot. Longview set to kick the extra point with just over 8 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. Snap is botched and fire as the holder rolling out throws, and it's tipped and intercepted. Boyd with a return to the 15 as they're able to come up with a stop on the extra point attempt, and so that robs Longview of an extra point. Looked like Creed Butler got in there, and he's the man to come away with the football. 8:06 to go in the fourth quarter. Boyd back on offense after this on 97.5 KLAK.
Shop Labor Day savings now at NFM. Thousands of styles are in stock and up to 60% off suggested retail. Find exactly what you're looking for, all backed by our low price guarantee. Add room for everyone with sectionals starting at $529 or a multi-use click-clack starting at $169. Plus, home office furniture starting at just $79. And holiday deals on appliances and electronics. Shop online or in-store with easy drive-through pickup and professional delivery available. Enjoy budget-friendly 30-month financing on furniture and flooring and 24-month financing on appliances and electronics when you use the NFM card. Make sure you stop by the store Saturday for our Forever Home Pet event with furry friends from Abandoned Pet Project. Plus, free crafts for Kids Crafter Day. More to love and more ways to save. All at NFM in Grandscape. Some exclusions apply. Minimum monthly payments required for financing. 18% APR. See store for details.
Back to McKinney ISD football, live on 97.5 KLAK.
.806 to go in the fourth quarter, and a Longview touchdown drive that took just 2 plays for a minute 24, about the time that it took Tatum to find the end zone after he broke free. 71 yards. And the kick goes out of bounds right before the near pylon. It snuck out of bounds, and so that'll give Boyd a nice boost on their drive.
Yeah, that was a nice decision by Joel Hatton. He was in there to return the kick. Kick was down at the corner. He let it bounce, see if it'd go out of bounds or in the end zone. Went out of bounds. They're going to pick up some free yardage for this possession.
Coach, I think both teams.
Boyd has elected to re-kick.
Oh, wow.
5-yard penalty.
And so Boyd backing up the kick tee. Longview will keep the special teams group out on the field. They'll boot this one over again. Interesting.
And
give him a chance
you
for
have
return.
the situation where coaches say, well, they just sprinted down 40 yards, so, maybe we'll get somebody resting on this. We need a big play. Opportunities for big plays, probably better from what we've seen tonight on a special teams play than lining up 11 on 11. Play from scrimmage.
So Longview getting set. The officials starting at the 35. He'll march it backwards. Was going to say, though, Coach, that both teams coming out of this, I think, going to have some good tape to hit the field and hit the practice field in the next coming weeks to get ready for week 2.
In my experience for coaching for as long as I did, that the biggest improvement your football team will make between your first game and your second game, that's the biggest leap that you make. Boyd will play a lot of good people this year. Longview is a great test for them to show just what kind of talent they've got to raise their level to compete against.
For Longview next week, they've got Marshall and Boyd against Byron Nelson. Long kick inside the 10. And Boyd will bring it out. Return on and tackle just past the 15. That's some ball pursuit there to get to the return man. Tackle was made by Drake Mayfield, a senior wideout.
And you got a wideout who can really run, playing the gunner on the kick cover team. And Boyd, they gambled on that, and they would have been better off field position wise if they'd have taken the penalty. But I completely understand, hey, we got a chance to maybe break a big run back here. Let's go ahead and take it.
So Boyd's got it inside their own 20 with 8:01 to go in the fourth quarter. Shackleton's all alone in the pocket with 3 stacked up out wide left. Looks to throw near side, though. Gets rid of it, throws, and it's incomplete. As his intended man was Caleb Hensley, but Coach, he got bumped off the route early. And then after counting the steps in his head, he turned and looked, and the ball's by him.
Yeah, just a little miscommunication. Wide receivers have to learn to shake that DB at the line of scrimmage so they don't get bumped off the route.
And if you're Ja'Kavon Curry, the defensive back, you win your job there. You basically just knock them off the route, and you buy your defense an extra second or two. 2nd and 10 with 7:57 to go. Shackleton in the same formation. Pump fakes left side, now throws deep with a flag coming out and incomplete. Jonathan Patterson, the throw is too tall.
That's an alignment situation there for the Broncos.
That flag is on the near 15, right at the line of scrimmage.
5-man in the backfield. 5-yard penalty.
And so Boyd, with the new formation we haven't seen tonight, trying to try some new things out in week 1, but they get caught there for too many men in the backfield. The formation penalty makes it 2nd and 15.
Well, and both throws by Shackleton have been good-looking throws, but receivers have not turned in time to make a play on the ball.
They mark it right at the 14. 2nd and 15 with 7:52 to go. Longview leading it 34-10. And now the officials.
That's a 2-yard penalty that they walked off right there.
Should be 2nd and 15. And so the ball should likely be right around the 11. It's week 1 for everyone, Coach.
I hear, yeah, you're right. And it is week 1, and
yeah.
it is not a district situation.
And so the ball will go back 5. They do mark it right past the 10.
I hear that theme from the circus playing in my head.
Uh-oh. 2nd and 15. Shackleton in the same formation, looks to throw, pump fakes it, and they get to the pressure quickly. Shackleton trying to dodge tackles, and he gets wrapped up and dropped way in the backfield. 3rd down and way long coming up.
Yeah, that's Jordan Wright, defensive end. Between Jordan Wright and Omarion Watkins, they got defensive linemen that can run like receivers and backs. Athletic, big, strong.
For Longview, their key to success this year is a sophomore class in last year's group that really had to be forced into the fire and replace a team from 2 seasons ago. Now all that sophomore class is back as experienced upperclassmen. 3rd down and 19. The give is to King, bouncing outside to the 10. Racing for the 15, gets back to the initial line, lowers his shoulder to the 20, just shy of it at about the 18. 4th down and long coming up with the clock stopping at 7 minutes, and the Broncos will boot it away.
Yeah, and Longview kind of bailed. They had him back in a long yardage situation. They kind of bailed in the secondary, and linebackers dropped back, so that gave them the extra running room right there.
You're thinking pass first there.
Right, and it was not a big enough play to pick up the first down. I'll be interested to see if we see the 2s for Longview here to get them some experience and get the starters out of the game.
High snap and rolling through the back of the end zone. That's the first miscue we've seen from what's been a good Boyd punt crew tonight.
Yeah, sometimes you just don't get your tail in deep enough on your snap, and if you don't get your tail in deep enough, it's going to take off on you on the snap, and that was still going up when it went over the punter's head.
Especially when you're deep in your own end.
Right.
Those punters don't want to be standing in their own end zone. And that one went through and, over the head of Jason Hoyle. He's been good tonight. 4 punts for him, averaging 40 yards, just over 40 yards per punt. And we talked about flipping the field. Unfortunately, didn't have a chance to do it there.
And now you're going to see is Boyd going to do. They're going to punt this safety. You have a free kick. Are you going to kick it off, or are you going to punt it? And we know Boyd's kicker's got a big leg, but you may want an extra height that the punt brings.
So after the safety, it makes it 36-10 with 6:54 to go in the 4th quarter. Officials look like they're set to mark it off. Well, we're happy to have high school football back on 97.5 KLAK. Coach, you were here last night?
Yes, Kevin and I were both here for the Bulldogs' impressive victory over 6A Garland.
So a good win to start it out.
And tomorrow, the Lions of McKinney High, the McKinney High School, the oldest school in town, will take on the Temple Wildcats, another old-time powerhouse. We will not be on the air, though, as the radio station already had a commitment.
You talk about, we were looking at upcoming schedules for Longview. They've got Marshall the next time out. That's going to be their 113th matchup. Broncos ready to boot it, and it's just in front of the 35 and a full head of steam as it was returned well by Jonathan Lee, the junior running back. He started back on it and then exploded up, and when he caught that football and was running, he was practically sprinting.
And it looks like that was Dawson on the tackle on the free kick.
We did have a flag down there. So the officials ready for the call.
Sideline warning on the Longview bench.
Uh-oh.
The first warning.
We've asked them to back up beyond the white.
That's the first time we've had that tonight. The officials signaling for the Lobos to keep back. That's coaches and officials only in that white box, and then players are behind.
There wasn't any contact between official or player or coach, because if there's contact, if official running down the sideline hits somebody, that's a 15-yard penalty.
Yeah, and officials, they say, coaches, guys got to stay back, and that was likely a long thing coming type thing. 1st and 10, and a short gain on the ground. Boyd getting to the ball carrier quickly. They've been good up front tonight at 2nd and long.
The outside linebacker for the Broncos, who's made a lot of plays tonight, actually he's playing inside, is Hudson Piner. That came off the edge that time and made the tackle.
He had his buddy in there as well, Andrew Dawson. Piner and Dawson making a lot of plays. The fellow seniors trying to fill some big shoes in the backer spot for Boyd this year. 2nd and 10 with over 6 minutes to go in the ball game. Allen with it, I formation, gives it to his back, right up the middle and bouncing to the outside, slips past a defender, spun around and finally dropped shy of the 40-yard line. Ball carrier Jonathan Lee, as Longview getting some 2s and 3s in there, brought down by Cole Smith.
Christian Turner also involved in the play out of the secondary.
Jonathan Lee, the listed second backer. Kelvin Washington is behind him, and Willie Nelson deep on that depth chart for that Lobos offense. Here's 3rd down and 2 with over 5 minutes to go. Allen gives it up the middle. First down gained, and a lot more as Lee able to spin through the pile and finally get brought down past the 35. He's at about the 33, 1st and 10 Longview.
A lot of good push up front. Longview offensive line, they brought in some seconds, and they're still making a lot of push up front.
Week 1 in the 2022 season for both these schools, and McKinney Boyd and the Lobos of Longview getting their season set against 2 opponents that each came into this tipping their cap to the opposing sideline. Whistles before the ball was snapped. The Broncos liked the Lobos up front for the early movement, and it looks like that's the signalage from our officials.
Yep, he picked his hand up. An offensive lineman, when you put your hand on the ground, you can shift your weight a little bit, but when you pick your hand up off the turf, that's going to be a rag.
62 on the offense, 5-yard penalty. Go first.
That's a tough battle, you got to think, with guys up front, with how much noise you've got. Of course, you want to watch the ball, but those battles between linemen are won in those milliseconds that you try and stay disciplined on the ball.
And it's when you attack, and usually everybody goes with whose hands are inside, and so to try to get your hands inside, you want to be quick off the ball. You get your hands inside, they can't see your hole. See, that's the key.
1st down and 15 after the Lobos go backwards on a penalty. They give up the middle past the 40-yard line, and the pile flowing shy of the 35. A short gain on 1st and 15. 2nd and long upcoming.
Creed Butler, the inside backer, in on that play again.
Hader Al-Nasri got in there as well, a junior defensive end. It's a McKinney Boyd team that in 2021 went 8-3. That was their best stretch of football since a special 2014 club that went 9-4 and 5-2 in the division. A new quarterback in for the Lobos, passes out wide and caught past the 30-yard line. And it looks like Andrew Tutt, the 5'10 junior, with a nice throw on his first pass attempted.
Yeah, Longview's substitute skill-wise, but they've come back with now their number 1 offensive line with just a one backup in their area in Harper. So they're 5 guys up front. People like to play them as a unit most of the time. They don't want to mix and match other guys.
So Longview on 3rd down and 4, melting this play clock down to 10. They make a late substitution. They might have to go fast here. Down to 7 as the huddle breaks. Quickly to the line. The Lobos want to go fast. Down to 2 seconds, down to 1 second. They did get it off. They give up the middle. Spun around and passed the line to gain, but a flag comes out on the near sideline as it looked like Hader Al-Nasri got in there again.
Ball was on the far hash, but the linesman on the Broncos sideline threw the flag, and is giving the white hat the call now on the penalty.
Let's go down to the field.
Illegal shift. 27 on the offense. 5-yard penalty. 3rd down.
Maybe some early movement before the snap as they were scrambling to get to the line.
Yeah, I think he said that somebody wasn't set before the play was snapped. You got to be set a count. Yeah. And I don't think he got set because they're rushing against the play clock. Quarterback's looking at the play clock right in front of him, and he's not as concerned about that guy getting down.
Longview getting some subs in, and you can likely assume that the nights of the guys like Jalen Hale, Jordan Allen, Taylor Tatum has come to a close.
It should.
Yeah.
You don't want
protecting your guys.
Chance in injury.
3rd and 9, and to give up the middle. A hard run by Jonathan Lee. He runs hard, lowers the shoulder, and got close, but not enough for a first down. Fourth down coming up.
Yeah, if you're the number 3 tailback for Longview, you could still be a really, really nice player. And so you want to maximize your touches.
We did see a lot of that from the Lobos tonight. A lot of load management with the guys, and you mentioned it, the depth with the skill guys. They kind of were able to do that and still be effective. That's when you know you might have a special club, and they certainly do. Fourth down and 3 with over 2 minutes to go. The give up the middle. Tutt hands it off, and that is going to be shy of a first down depending on the officials' mark. Line to gain was the 23, and they're going to mark it at about the 24. Tackle made by Nick Weslowski, and that's a familiar name, Coach.
Yeah, Nick's a sophomore quarterback, but he's just such a determined athlete that he's worked his way into the secondary rotation as a quarterback. Well, now I'm a safety. Huge shoes to fill with Big Brother, but I know Coach Foster, I brought it up, and he said Nick's going to be a fine football player in his own right.
Ethan is big bro, going to the college level, staying in North Texas. UNT. Looks like a new arm out there, and the snap is high. Flag is down, and madness on the first play. Whistles blow it to an end. A lot of whistles. Night comes to a close for Ryan Shackleton. Conley Clark is the man out there. The officials with a penalty marker first, though.
Defense in the neutral zone. 5-yard penalty. First down.
And a very high snap that time. You're always leery when the backup center goes in, not because he can't play, but it's just different. And snaps, that was well over his head.
Asher Herring, a senior, but now over the ball with Conley Clark, fellow senior, behind him. 1st and 5 for the Broncos. The give up the middle and a nice carry. Spun down past the 34, which was the line to gain. And that will be enough as Datron Dabney, the secondary rusher, was able to get the first down.
Well, and that's some backup defenders for the Longview Lobos.
Looks like we've got an injury down on the field with 1:46 to go. We'll step aside quickly for it. Come back for the rest of the ball game from MISD Stadium on 97.5 KLAK.
Life is an adventure, and it's time to raise anchor and embark on your voyage at Grayson College. Our success coaches are here to help you plot your course and navigate your path. As a Viking, you will receive all the tools necessary to conquer your goals. With ongoing enrollment, it's never too late. Set sail here at home with Grayson College. Visit grayson.edu to get started today.
McKinney ISD football continues on 97.5 KLAK.
Back after an injury timeout, and still in an injury timeout from MISD Stadium. 36-10, Lobos over the Broncos as we're deep in the fourth quarter. Chris Jared, Will Hodges, Kevin McPherson, and a big thanks to Jeremy Frazier back in the studio. As Coach kind of unpacking this ball game tonight, we'll talk about it on a post-game show, but for both teams, some takeaways from tonight. For Longview, they saw what they wanted to see from the guys, but maybe still some fixes. And for the Broncos, just a tough team that you're able to put 10 points up against.
Yeah, you see some spots, and they'll highlight the positives. They'll, describe the negatives and coach up the things that they want done to alleviate those problems. Whether it's missed tackles or defensive linemen, you got to get lower. You can't get that. Low man wins up front when you're in the trenches. So you got to get lower. You're getting stood up too high, and they're pushing you back into linebackers. It's tough to make plays. That's where that 3-yard run turns into an 8-yard run, or that 8-yard run turns into a 20-yard run. So they'll talk about those, but they'll try to highlight the positives. Hey, it's week 1. Everybody is still 0v0 in the district race. Okay, so this game has no bearing on how they're going to do in district, but you got to learn from your mistakes, and you got to work on things that'll make those better.
Talking about the district race as we're set to resume. St. John Bosco tonight, 52-7, the final over Allen.
St. John's Bosco, one of the premier football factories in really the country. So Allen really taking a huge leap to go play those folks.
We're back in action with 1:41 to go. And on 1st and 10, the gives up the middle. Dabney with it, the ball carrier, and the juniors dropped around the 36. Second down coming up.
Yeah, Boyd just trying to execute their offense, get some snaps in, back up offensive linemen.
Coach Foster earlier this week, as the Broncos have it 2nd and 9, he talked about, you got to win, but also the message is, too, after tonight, we're still 0-0. Looking at, the division, the district play, division's wide open. 2nd and 9 with over a minute to go. New quarterback for Boyd is Conley Clark. Gives it off, and a strong carry up the middle. Dabney running into some blockers shy of the 40, and he's going to be dropped with 50 seconds to go in the ballgame.
Nice job by the backup running back there. Just finding his way, turning his shoulders, getting his shoulders squared, and going north and south.
Last year it was a strong start for Boyd, as they were able to begin the year 5-0 before they met Allen. 37-24 on the last night in September. Final half minute in this fourth quarter with the Broncos around midfield possessing it. 3rd and 6. And they give off to Dabney, trying to break the 40-yard line, but he'll be stood up a yard past the line of scrimmage. And the final 10 seconds up on the score clock starting to melt away. Lobos lining up at midfield. And that'll do it for a Week 1 matchup at MISD. The Lobos of Longview begin their season with a 36-10 victory over the Boyd Broncos. Tonight's final score.
Yeah, we'll get to it in more depth in the postgame show, but the Broncos played a really good club tonight. Longview was as advertised. They executed well. Tough night for Boyd. But I'll say that Longview will match up extremely well with the big powers in Boyd's district. So you kind of see where you are and where you have to get to be able to beat those folks, where it's Denton Guy or Allen. So, it's a learning experience. And Boyd, they've got some new starters in there. They're missing some big-time playmakers.
All right, we've got a final from MISD, 36-10 Longview over McKinney Boyd. We'll step aside. If you missed any of tonight's game, stick with us. We'll break it down in the post-game show next on 97.5 KLAK.
Life is yours to spend. Spend it making more money. Spend it making more memories. Spend it learning a new skill. Spend it teaching an old trick. Spend it career climbing. Spend it mountain climbing. First United Bank. Spend life wisely.
High school football. In McKinney, it's what we're all dedicated to, isn't it? It's a way of life here in Texas. Barrow's Pizza in McKinney wants to give a big shout out in support of our high school football games at the big stadium in McKinney. And we wish all the athletes and everyone it takes to make the games happen the very best of luck. Why not score the best pizza after the game tonight? Barrow's Pizza. Order online at barrowspizza.com.
At the Thomas Auto Group, we're giving you triple the options. We've made sure finding your perfect ride is easier than ever. We have over 800 vehicles to choose from, including hundreds and hundreds of pre-owned cars, trucks, and SUVs. Just browse our website to view the outstanding selection of new and pre-owned Ford, Subaru, and Volkswagen vehicles. Plus, all vehicles sold come with the Thomas Promise, the low price promise, and 100% customer satisfaction guaranteed. Visit us at thomasautogroup.com or in McKinney today.
Life is an adventure, and it's time to raise anchor and embark on your voyage at Grayson College. Our success coaches are here to help you plot your course and navigate your path. As a Viking, you will receive all the tools necessary to conquer your goals. With ongoing enrollment, it's never too late. Set sail here at home with Grayson College. Visit grayson.edu to get started today.
Greatness. It's not born of coincidence. It's not a product of luck. It's forged through dedication, drills, and the acquisition of new skills. Wanting won't get you there, but sweat equity just might.
The team here at Pebble Path Pediatric Dentistry and Orthodontics is rooting for our 3 fabulous McKinney teams during this high school football season. Count on us for all of your kids' dental needs. And it's a great time to start with braces. Online at pebblepathdds.com.
Back to McKinney ISD football, live on 97.5 KLAK.
Back to break this one down from MISD Stadium tonight. Longview, a win over McKinney Boyd. The Broncos falling tonight 36-10 to begin their season. Chris Jared, Will Hodges, Kevin McPherson back with you from MISD Stadium. Coach, for the Broncos, starting the ball game off, looked like they were able to match the tempo early, but a slow, steady attack and winning third down, the key for the Lobos on the road tonight.
Well, John King's got one of his best clubs out in East Texas. For him to tell people, that they're really, really good, that tells you how good he feels about his team, because he usually tamps down in the enthusiasm. But they have playmakers all over the field. I think Boyd did some good things. They're going to, really harp on those good things, but they're going to coach up the things that caused them to lose this ball game.
And sorry, Coach.
Well, there's not a whole lot you can do when you're man coverage and they throw the fade to a 6'3" wide receiver who's got a 40-inch vertical, right? You got to go up and try to strip it or get a PI and hope they don't call it or whatever. But there were some matchup issues for Boyd tonight that are going to be hard to overcome, to be honest with you.
And Coach Foster talked about it too. He said that he's been taught by coaches along the way. He noted Brian Brazel in his time as a player at Hebron, but talked about teaching your guys, instilling his culture. He wants his culture to be, in life, you're handed adversity, so what? What are you going to do? Well, you lose week 1, so what? You got to go back to the drawing board.
That's right, and you got to listen to the coaches and feel good about where you are. Hey, we lost a non-district game. Who cares? That has no bearing on whether we make it out of district or not. So we're going to get better, get prepared for our next opponent next week.
Well, and a cool takeaway, too, is that no one wants to lose, but how cool is it we play a team that's got as much backing entering the season as Longview, and we're able to see week 1 without damage, as you say, what we can do and get the tape from it and go back and get ready for the rest of the year.
Well, and we saw several Broncos limp off, but it doesn't look like they're season-ending things. It doesn't look like that's serious injuries. We're hopeful of that. But so when you come out of game 1 of a season and you're able to field your same club the next week, it's a good thing. Or maybe you've got them if somebody has to miss a game, 1 or 2.
All right, we'll bring in Kevin McPherson now, taking a look at some of the stats tonight. Kevin, for this ball game, it was as we talked about, it looked like out of the gate early the Broncos were able to do some things, but how did Boyd end up matching up?
So we're passing game, and that's a success. They were 13 yards in the first half, but was not able to complete on the second half. And carrying the football, again, it was tough going for Sheldon King and company. 13 carries for him for 47 yards. Shaq for them for 5 carries as well. And, Longview was able to keep the ball away, but also was able to run so many more plays. The McKinney Boyd, 59 plays for 38, 464 yards for 164. And really, if you look at the total yards in the first half, that means Boyd was 20 yards of offense in the second half. The time of possession was nearly 2 to 1, 31 and change, 16 and change. And third down conversions were also leading at 1 point. Longview was 8 and 9, they finished 11 out of 14. So it was kind of a slow go at first, a slow, steady drift on Longview, especially when the rain came.
Yeah.
They decided to load it up, and really that probably was when you remember things that happened in Longview's phase because they didn't necessarily have to rely on the pass. On the ground for the Lobos, Taylor Tatum, 18 carries, 162 yards. He did have a long touchdown run. Jordan Allen finishes 15 out of 19. No picks, 2 touchdowns, 204 yards. Hale is the leading receiver, 6 catches, 127 for 2. He only had 1 catch in the second half. They had the
Yeah.
On defense, Jonathan Patterson with 8 tackles, Andrew Dawson with 7, along with Nate Butler with 7. And linebacker Darian Boone leads Lobos with 6 tackles. He also had tackles for loss. And we saw a couple of negative plays created by the Lobos defense. So Boyd was 14-10. Just had to get a stop before half. Couldn't do it. Remember that Longview converted a long 3rd down. That may have taken some of the wind out of their sails.
80-yard drive right before half.
Several 80-yard drives. In fact, and 4 drives with double-digit plays.
Man.
That drains the clock, keeps the ball away from Boyd.
And it really wears on their defense. Those double-digit play drives.
I would think as a defender, that's a bigger punch in the gut than giving up a big ball.
Sure. Because you're just exhausted, but you can't stop them. You know, it's like Lyndon Johnson used to say, it's like a West Texas hailstorm. You can't run, you can't hide, and you can't make it stop.
And it seemed like 3rd downs, too. That, with time of possession, 3rd down conversions, and it was a slow bleed, especially in the first half, like you mentioned, Kevin.
Yeah, and Longview did not put themselves behind the chain very much. I mentioned John King's not really happy with the number of penalties, especially the pre-snap, but they were able to overcome. They may have been in 2nd and 12. They didn't have many 3rd and more than 10.
No, but I think that's a factor of the first ball game. You know, you're going to get some pre-snap penalties right there. I think that's, many times in the one scrimmage that you have, they're not throwing that flag. They're keeping it in their pocket. So, that's a small window right there. But I'll tell you what I'm most impressed with is you get beyond the skilled people, and they've got skilled people that can really play. Kevin highlighted the quarterback. And that's a huge difference from last year when we saw them against North. They couldn't get Hale the ball last year. But the running back, the quarterback, I thought played exceedingly well. And then Hale's a special player outside. So, but the offensive line was it was a road grading. They were establishing a new line of scrimmage. But to be honest with you, the defensive line played the same way. I was impressed with both their offensive and defensive lines, and then you add that to the skill position guys, and you really present a formidable challenge.
Yeah, and you can win it up front on both sides. That is a formula for winning into the playoffs and beyond.
Well, that travels well in December, right? If you got a chance to bad weather, inclement weather, and it's raining, you're not we're going over the top every play. You're lining up and punching people in the mouth on both sides of the ball, and that plays well in bad weather, rain, ice, etc.
Well, and it continued to happen tonight as it was a 36-10 final as Longview was able to down Boyd tonight. A pretty consistent attack through the air. The athletes had it as well up front and winning the line at the line of scrimmage as well. And it was all paying off for Longview after 4 quarters. We'll step aside and break down tonight's broadcast. That final score, Longview 36-10 over McKinney Boyd. Back after this to close the curtain from MISD Stadium on 97.5 KLAK.
At the Thomas Auto Group, we're giving you triple the options. We've made sure finding your perfect ride is easier than ever. We have over 800 vehicles to choose from, including hundreds and hundreds of pre-owned cars, trucks, and SUVs. Just browse our website to view the outstanding selection of new and pre-owned Ford, Subaru, and Volkswagen vehicles. Plus, all vehicles sold come with the Thomas Promise, the low price promise, and 100% customer satisfaction guaranteed. Visit us at thomasautogroup.com or in McKinney today.
Greatness. It's not born of coincidence. It's not a product of luck. It's forged through dedication, drills, and the acquisition of new skills. Wanting won't get you there, but sweat equity just might.
The team here at Pebble Path Pediatric Dentistry and Orthodontics is rooting for our 3 fabulous McKinney teams during this high school football season. Count on us for all of your kids' dental needs, and it's a great time to start with braces. Online at pebblepathdds.com.
Life is yours to spend. Spend it expanding your balance. Spend it expanding your mind. Spend it wondering what comes next. Spend it trusting that God has a plan. Spend it taking small steps in your own life. Spend it making a big impact on someone else's. First United Bank. Spend life wisely.
McKinney ISD football continues on 97.5 KLAK.
Shop Labor Day savings now at NFM. Thousands of styles are in stock and up to 60% off suggested retail. Find exactly what you're looking for, all backed by our low price guarantee. Add room for everyone with sectionals starting at $529 or a multi-use click-clack starting at $169. Plus, home office furniture starting at just $79. And holiday deals on appliances and electronics. Shop online or in-store with easy drive-through pickup and professional delivery available. Enjoy budget-friendly 30-month financing on furniture and flooring and 24-month financing on appliances and electronics when you use the NFM card. Make sure you stop by the store Saturday for our Forever Home Pet event with furry friends from Abandoned Pet Project. Plus, free crafts for Kids Crafter Day. More to love and more ways to save. All at NFM in Grandscape. Some exclusions apply. Minimum monthly payments required for financing. 18% APR. See store for details.
McKinney ISD football continues on 97.5 KLAK.
On 97.5 KLAK, we had a nice ball game from McKinney ISD Stadium tonight. Longview coming out of here with a 36-10 win over the McKinney Boyd Broncos. First game up and down for the new head coach, Daniel Foster, and some good tape for the Broncos to work at and get ready for a Week 2 matchup against Byron Nelson. Our next broadcast is going to be this upcoming Friday right here at MISD Stadium. McKinney Lions hosting Richardson Berkner. They'll be in town, and we'll be on the air at 6:30 with our pregame coverage for a 7 o'clock kick as the Lions hosting Berkner from Richardson. Chris Jared back with you. Coach Will Hodges, any final thoughts before we sign off for the night?
Yeah, this is not a end of the world scenario, right? It's the first week in a 10. It's the first yards in a 10-week marathon,
right?
And so if they come out of this healthy, give it. I like the intensity that the Broncos played with. I thought they had some individual plays that really executed exceedingly well, and they'll play some people with comparable talent in their district, Denton, Guyer, and Allen specifically. But it's not going to be easy. But I think Coach Foster and his staff are going to get with those kids at Boyd and work on the things that they didn't like from the tape tonight. But I think this is a momentary blip.
Real quick, too, before we sign off, we had that Pebble Path Pediatric Dentistry play of the game, and it was, how about it being play one? It was the first play of scrimmage, and the Broncos came out hot.
Well, and I just thought it was such a well-executed play. Longview was not in press coverage, so they were backed off a little bit. Straight man coverage, they run the skinny post for a 21-yard game. Nice protection up front, a really good throw by Shackleton, and nice catch, and set up a first down, and really had momentum going for the Broncos there before they had pressure on the quarterback, interception right down by the goal line.
I think maybe seeing that, hey, that pass game, if we can get rid of it quickly, that might be a point of attack moving forward in the season. Well, for my broadcast partners tonight, Kevin McPherson and Will Hodges, big thanks to Jeremy Frazier, also back in the 97.5 KLAK studios, getting you McKinney Boyd High School football on the air. Chris Jarrett signing off from MISD Stadium. Have a great start to your weekend, and we'll catch you next time. And a big thanks to you for tuning in to McKinney ISD High School football on 97.5 KLAK. So long, folks. Have a great rest of your night.
Thank you for listening to MISD Football on 97.5 KLAK. Brought to you by the Thomas Auto Group, Grayson College, First United Bank McKinney, Pebble Path Pediatric Dentistry, Barro's Pizza, and Airview AC. Get the complete broadcast schedule at 975klak.com. Now back to today's best music on 97.5 KLAK.
Hi, this is Jennifer Frazier, Director of Athletics for McKinney ISD.
Collin County's home for today's best music, 97.5 KLAK.